Hey everybody, to this music. And for once, I'm going to remember to press play on Instagram. Here we go. Hi everybody, I'm Lauren. Welcome to Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce. Happy Thursday. Today is January 9th, 2025. I'm sort of getting used to the 2025 thing, like saying it and writing it, but it's still weird and I can't believe January is going so quickly. In my neck of the woods, which is, what do you call it, Zone 6B, I'm in western New Jersey, almost on the Pennsylvania border. Way too early to be starting seeds yet for tomatoes, except for micro dwarfs. I'm always starting. In fact, I started two micro dwarfs today. One that I'd never heard of before that came from likely one of you who's watching. And what's the other one? Oh, the other one's a new one from Tomato Eden called Easy Peasy. I think it's more of a mini dwarf. It gets to be, let's see, 16 to 20 inches, but you can find it on their website. So I started both of those. I've been kind of like cooling my jets a little bit about starting too many micros. One, because right now the basement is full of stuff that I'm stabilizing my stuff. This is White Baby, which is kind of a variant off of my original Drop the Micro and hopefully will turn white. I have one of the plants that they're starting to turn already. So I've got a bunch of those going on, but also I'm leaving. You probably don't remember. I didn't have this show last year. I figured out earlier today that I started Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce in April of last year. So it hasn't been a full year yet of this show. Of course, I've done Tomato Talk Live with Jen now for about a year and a half, which is great. And we're going to be doing something together tomorrow, which I'll talk about in a minute. But also I go to spend a few weeks down in Destin, Florida with my parents each winter. This will be our third winter. They've started snowbirding down there. It's on the panhandle of Florida, which up until 3 years ago, I had never been in my life. And it is just the most heavenly place on earth. I think there's at least a few of you, I don't know if you're watching today, but there's some in our group, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, who live in or around Destin. So I'll be going down there mid-February. When do I leave? It's like the second week of February, and I come back first week of March. And even that's too early to be starting tomato seeds for me. I'll be starting, I think I may start peppers before I go. I don't know. I started them late last year and it was absolutely fine. And peppers for me get kind of buggy. So anyway, my point is I'll be gone for 3 weeks. And while Mr. Tomato Head will be here, he's coming down for a week. But while he'll be here, trusting my babies to be watered like daily and all of that between Rob and Riley, they would do it. And I just figure why start. But I did start two new ones today. Like I said, I've got my F4s that have just sprouted of my Drop the Micro. It's hard to believe it's an F4 already. So those I'm not going to wait on. I've got the F2s of my Candy Berry Cross. So I've got a lot going on. But I have cooled my jets. But for me, I think last year I started my regular tomato seeds first week of April. My garage tomatoes, which I've been doing with my dwarfs now. This will be my third season. Call them garage tomatoes because I start them earlier. I put them in grow bags and I drag them in the garage at night because it's too cold, and I drag them out during the day when it's not so cold. So anyway, it's a little too early, but not too early to be talking 2025 grow list. And honestly, a lot of the stuff I've been talking about since last April, particularly after this grow season, though, is on my grow list, at least as of now. I've been speaking, of course, with Kina and Jen. We're co-admins of the group Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap on Facebook. If you're not a member, you must join us. And we've been talking about how not Jen. I don't know that Jen maxes out her grow list because she does like 500 or something like that. But Kina and I, we have like a set number we want to stop at. And Jen, if I'm putting words in your mouth, please correct me. But I want to stop at 150. Ideally, realized today 125 would be better, but I've maxed out at 150. So I'm going to have to do some creative like finagling. This will be my second year in a row where I'm like, next season I'm going to regrow a lot of my favorites: Cherokee Purple, Berkeley Pink Tie-Dye, Captain Lucky, and all of that. And I have full intentions of doing that. And then so many of you send me like exciting and rare seeds that they're slowly getting knocked down. I won't be moving Malachite Box or Malachite Davaya Shkatulka. That stays no matter what. What else is staying? I've got a cross, an indeterminate cross I'll be growing this year. Suffer Well will be there. That was my favorite from last year and probably all time. It's right up there with Malachite Box for me. And Nano's Meatball Dwarf. Those are definites that will be coming back. And then I'm doing these coyote crosses that I've been working on for the past couple of years and stabilizing. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, Bananas Noir, my tomato. That never leaves the grow list because I love it so much. So anyway, it's a little early, but not too early to start talking grow list. And I don't know if everything I'm going to be talking about today is on my grow list for this year, but a lot of them are. In fact, I'm going to try to be a little ambitious today and talk about 14 varieties instead of 10. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how long I can go with staying on track. Because if you've watched the show ever, that's not always a thing that I can do. I get very excited. But let's see. Oh, I'm already 35 minutes behind in the comments. Good grief. Thank you all for being here. Hi, Diana. Thanks for being here. Hey, Lucas. Thanks for joining in. Hi, Robin. Oh, Diana, you were just super early. That's why I look 36 minutes behind. I love that. I love that you guys come early. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Lauren. Beautiful day in Northern California today. Thank you for reminding me, Teresa, inadvertently. For all of you in Southern California, in the Los Angeles area, where it is just complete devastation from out of control wildfires that are fueled by the Santa Ana winds, my heart and prayers are with you all. I've been speaking with Kina and Jen and a member who came to us today. God forbid if you are in that area and you've lost everything, please have no fear. Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap will be hooking you up with seeds after this is all over. But I do pray that none of you are in that position. But please, everyone be safe. It is just devastating. And I'm sure I speak with everybody else watching that our prayers and hearts are with the people in Los Angeles. It's just devastating. Who else we have? Swamp Bitch is here. Hey, Harley. Thanks for being here. Blah Blah's here. I peeked a little bit before I went live to see who was the comments, because I go and I take the link from my YouTube channel to post in the group, just reminding people that I'm going live. And so I saw some of your comments. And it's so comforting to see like our friends like Blah Blah's here, Swamp Bitch is here, and I love the names too. So thank you guys for joining me every Thursday. I love doing this show. Hi, Sherman. Hello, Lauren and friends. Hi, Jamie. Jamie, I think you need to switch up your class. Today is she's starting a class. She says she won't be able to join us live on Thursdays any longer, but I am glad you're here today. And of course, the show's recorded. Not everybody can make this time. So we will miss you live, but make sure you join in whenever you can. Pen and paper ready. Thanks, Blah Blah. Yes, if you've never watched my show before, it is always best to keep a notebook. And these are my favorite pens, by the way. If I send you seeds, I'm always writing on the labels with this. It's an ultra fine retractable Sharpies. I go through them like they're water because I'm losing them. I've probably planted 1 million of them like in dirt accidentally. They go missing, but I get them from Amazon. I just love them. Oh, Teresa, you're cute. Yay, Lauren's here. Doesn't it seem like the weeks go so fast? It feels like it's been a few weeks since I've been here, but it hasn't. I was just here last Thursday. Hi, Rowena. Thank you for being here. If you guys don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would appreciate it if you do. It's Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. You may be watching on here, and if you don't already subscribe, please subscribe. You can hit the bell, which will give you notifications every time I'm live. And if you're watching from Instagram, we do have people that are watching from Instagram, because I didn't forget to press play this time. Unfortunately, I'm unable to see your comments because I use a platform called EVMux that you can stream to multiple places, but for whatever reason, Instagram comments don't come to me. So if you want to join in on the conversation, and I do encourage that, you may want to switch over to my Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head YouTube channel. But certainly everybody can watch on Instagram. And I always stream on my public Facebook page, also Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. I should say our public Facebook page, because Rob is involved in it. He just doesn't like being in front of the camera, so that's okay. He's my wonderful, shy guy, and we have such a great time during tomato season together. It's like a nightly thing of us doing our taste tests, writing it down. I keep a notebook. If you follow me on Instagram, by the way, well, if you don't, I would appreciate if you do. It's Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head, and I post more more in-depth reviews than what I do like on my public Facebook page. I posted an album of all of the varieties a couple months ago, and some of them I have more in-depth reviews written, but I kind of do them as I can. I write down the notes and then I write them. So on my Instagram page, you can find more in-depth reviews, including what our overall score, out of 10, and the bricks ratings, if that's important to you. So if you can follow me on Instagram, I think it's a nice page, very pretty. It's like tomato porn, honestly. I love following tomato heads on Instagram. In fact, my most wanted this week I found it on Instagram. It's the only other place I found it, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Hey, Heidi, hit that like button. Thanks. Oh, Jen's here. Hey, Jen. Thanks for being here. So tomorrow, I haven't put up the promotion yet, but tomorrow Jen and I are doing a joint unboxing of Old South Seeds, which is an new Etsy vendor, although the people that run it have been around for quite a while in the tomato world. And Jen and I thought we would come to you live. So it's going to be at this time, which is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's tomorrow, Friday, January 10th. So it's 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock in the UK, 10 o'clock Kina time, Central European Standard Time, I think it is. So I hope you can join us. We're going to have a lot of fun, and they've got some great varieties. So it'll be really nice to give them some business. Oh, speaking of which, my shirt today, again from Inspired Garden Life, says, "My therapist says I need to talk less about tomatoes." That's not going to happen. I would fire that therapist. But if you're not familiar with Inspired Garden Life, Jen has gotten a bunch of shirts from them. I've gotten a bunch of shirts from them, and I know so many of you have. And they have an ongoing 15% off coupon for us in TLC with code TLC15. So go to inspiredgardenlife.com. Go to TLC15. They're amazing. They're wonderful people. I don't want to speak for any of you out there, but I know one of you who's watching wanted to switch for a different size, and they were like beyond accommodating. I'll just say that. They're an older couple that have decided to share their love of gardening and make these great designs. They really are. And again, I say this every week, but I don't get any kickbacks from them or anything like that. When I see something I love, I like to promote it. And for, an avid tomato t-shirt collector like I am and like Jen is, I've never seen designs like this. They don't have a single design, I don't think, of a shirt that I have already. So they've got great stuff, not only for tomatoes, but also just gardening in general, seed hoarding, things like that. So make sure you check them out. What else did I want to say? In Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, on Monday, Kina, Jen, and I announced we already knew the grow out categories for 2025, but we started signups. And those will be open until this coming Monday, which is what date? 12th? Is that right? Nope, 13th. I think 13th. I do have a calendar. I should look. Anyway, they're open. The signups are open until Monday. We're giving it a week. And we've got some great entries so far. Yes, 13. Monday the 13th. You know what else is Monday the 13th? The 10-year anniversary of my other group, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. So going to be doing some special things in the group. If you or anybody live with chronic pain and illness, and pain doesn't have to be physical, it could be emotional, PTSD, trauma, depression, whatever. I would love to have you join us. We have 11,500 something members. It's a great uplifting place for you to maybe get inspired a little bit in a life that's difficult living with chronic pain. I started the group back on January 13th, 2015, because I was a member. This was after I got out of rehab, which is a whole other story, but I had an alcohol problem because that's how I was self-medicating my chronic pain, and I don't recommend it at all. I got to go to a rehab that had a chronic pain program. So it was an amazing month away, which sounds weird to say that at rehab, but it really was. It changed my life. And so I came home and I knew that talking it through with others helps to ease up on the emotional pain that goes along with the physical. So I joined a bunch of chronic pain groups on Facebook, and they were all depressing. They were all, I mean, chronic pain's not, certainly not fun. But it was like people constantly trying to outpain each other and nobody like living in the solution and trying to find, trying to navigate a new normal. And it's not easy. We go through acceptance every day. But so I started this group because nothing like that existed. We do daily gratitudes. We set daily intentions, all optional, of course. We have a couple sister groups like a journaling club and an affirmations club, a book club, all optional again. But yeah, so it's the 10-year anniversary of AOG. And if you want, let me show you what it looks like. I know many of you have become members already. I am so proud of it. So proud of it. Let me share the screen. And I'll get you the link too if anybody wants to join. Here it is, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. So yeah, 10 years. It's hard to believe it has been 10 years. I'll put the link in the comments if you'd like to join. And again, you don't have to feel like, even if you're only in a little pain, that you can't join. Pain is pain. And that's the way I see it anyway. And, life is hard. And so if you feel like you can use a little boost, even if you don't comment at all, we don't celebrate those who comment all the time. We know there's so many that read the posts that get so much out of it. I just put the link in the comments, but it's Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. So I'm pretty excited about that. But anyway, see, this is what I'm talking about when I say I digress. I do. I digress a lot. So I just talked about my other group for like 10 minutes, but I am proud of it. I can't believe it's been 10 years. I don't even remember a time living with chronic pain and illness prior to this. Obviously there was the alcohol problem, the, drinking my pain away, which actually caused more pain. But boy, I sure am glad I have it. I've got a great admin team who are just wonderful. And then, like I said, so many of you have joined already, so would love to have you. All right, where was I in the comments? We said hi to Jen. That's how I kind of started digress. Oh, grow outs. So what is a grow out? Let me tell you what a grow out is. I assume that most of you know, and I shouldn't assume that. So we did our first ones this past year in 2024, and you sign up. We have 12 teams this year, and Michael, Kelly, Linda Downing, and Deb Toothicker are helping us this year. They're each taking another team. Keena, Jen, and I are each taking on one more, so 3 for each of the 3 of us. So we'll have 12 total. We're going to have 15 members per team and a few alternates, backups also. And basically you sign up with a variety, and you sign up in up to 2 categories, and you can post up to 5 different varieties within one of those or both of those categories. And then next week, the team leaders were going to sit down and choose the teams, which is not an easy job at all. And unfortunately, if you do the math with almost 6,000 members of our group and only a limited amount of spots, just we want you to know that if you're not chosen, it's only because we couldn't find a spot for you or somebody else signed up for that or whatever. We don't play favorites. We feel very strongly about that. We don't just put our favorite members on the team, or I shouldn't say favorite members. We don't have favorite members, but like people we know relatively well that we trade with all the time. We really are diplomatic about it, and it kills us to say no to people. So if you really want to be in a grow out, sign up in 2 categories, put 5 different varieties in each of those 2. And, hopefully you get a spot. So anyway, you sign up with your variety. If you're chosen for a team, you pay your team leader $6 on PayPal. If you don't have PayPal, you can't sign up. It's just easier that way. And that covers shipping and handling. That covers, shipping of the seeds. And then you commit to growing that out. We're going to ask this year for at least 1 progress photo. We kind of got screwed a little bit with some of the members on our grow out teams last year. We thought we didn't need to ask for updates. And each team, by the way, will have a messenger chat. So we can talk within the team on that. So we need backups this year, and we will ask. We're not going to be micromanaging, but we would like proof that there is a plant. If you're worried about crop failure, maybe grow 2 plants. But I had a few members on my teams that they didn't even start seeds for it, and I didn't know until October. And so it actually ended up being okay because I grew a lot of extras on both of my teams, which were Jarson and Bill Yoder, Fred Hempel, in the other one. But it's really not fair to the other members. So sign up. And then when you're done with the growing season, you save your seeds, you put it in 15 to 20 packs of 10 seeds each. So 150 to 200. I'm saying we've said 15, but Kina reminded us yesterday that we actually we're going to ask for 20 packs this year. That way all the team captains can get those grow outs. Kind of, we don't take any personal payment, but I think that's only fair that we're running the grow out. So that's what you're responsible for. You send it into us by November 1st, 2025, and then in return, you get back all the varieties from your team. So that's what a grow out is. And you get all these fantastic varieties for only $6 US. So if anybody has any questions during this, I think I saw Kina's here too. We're happy to answer, but make sure you sign up by Monday. I had somebody ask me today when the grow outs for 2025 signups were going to be. And I'm like, it's in the group already. We don't like to use that @everyone feature in Facebook. I find it very annoying personally. So I'd rather not do that. But if you ever step into the group within the week, you will see them. So we really can't wait to form our teams. And we hope that all of you get on a team and one that you want. Hi, Amy D. Thanks for being here. Michael's here. Hey, Michael. Michael's going to be running our micro dwarf grow out. And thank you, Michael. There's some great stuff signed up in that grow out right now. So, and you can trust that whatever team you sign up for, Kina, Jen, myself, Michael, Linda, Deb, we will be contributing also. I have a lot of Sophia Sakovas I'm going to be growing and a lot of Spanish that I'm going to be growing, rare stuff. What's my other team? Oh, and Kentucky Appalachian Heirlooms. I think I have 1 or 2 rare ones for that one too. So you get whatever we can contribute also. And then some people this past year also put in extras. So you probably get more than 15 back, chances are. Meyer Way, hi there. Thanks for being here. Nicole Smith's here. Hi, Nicole. Who else do we have? Tara Dove's here. Happy Tomato Day. Thursday's Tomato Day. And tomorrow, too, if you're just joining in, Jen and I are going to be doing a live unboxing of Old South seeds together tomorrow at this time tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Hi, Catherine. Thanks for being here. I like this Sherman. Lights, camera, action, tomatoes. Oh, Malachite Jen's here. Hey, Malachite Jen. I'm going to be talking about a variety today, Malachite Jen, that I hear through the grapevine you got as well. As well you should, and you'll know the one I'm talking about when I get to it. Here's our Kina. Hey, Kina. Thanks for being here. It's late where you are. I want to make sure I get everybody. Missy's here. Hi, Missy. I don't know if I got you, Lisa Lloyd. I know you're saying hi to Teresa, but hi there. Jerry's here. Hi, Jerry. Our friend Jerry. Deb's here. She's going to be doing the Tatiana Nagel grow out. That's Tatiana from Tomato Eden. She has some incredible varieties. And they're getting some great signups in there. Also, the Leprechaun series is all hers. And then she actually gave me, you may have seen in the group, I did a breeder resource sheet for Tatiana Nagel a couple days ago, so people can know what she has, bred. Lauren, Kina, and Jen, those tomatoes are hers. And she gave me a list, but she didn't give me everything. She gave me everything that she manually bred. But she's growing out she's stabilizing a lot of exciting things, and she didn't put that in there. So that list I gave you, I'm going to keep populating that. But I grew Big Festival Tulip Green last year, which is one of hers. It was fabulous. So you may see some additions to that. But if you're in Tomato Eden or anywhere else, I've seen her varieties for sale elsewhere, and it says Tatiana Nagel, you can certainly sign up with that. Oh, yes, my earrings. If you missed it, Jen made Kina and I these earrings. They're crochet little tomatoes. Got it for Christmas, and here, this was last year's Christmas gift, which I love it. It's getting dirty. My hands are dirty, which hasn't happened in a while, but I've been up-potting things today. I up-potted some indoor nanos meatball dwarf. Oh, I'm growing Leprechaun Rob, which is named after my husband, Rob, or Rob's, I guess it is. That's one of Tatiana's. It's an F3, and I figure since it's a dwarf, I'll try growing it inside. So I'm growing that Nano's Meatball Tokyo Micro Dwarf, which is from Kids Seed Company. What else did I up-pot today? A couple more of my Candy Berry micro crosses. What else was there? That may have been it. And then, like I said, I started seeds for Easy Peasy and for, gosh, what's the name of the micro that I was given? Tomasino something. Whatever. I can't find information on it, which means it goes right into soil because I'm excited. Hey, Rolanda, thanks for being here. You Grow Row. If you don't subscribe to Rolanda's channel, make sure you do. You Grow Row. It's a great gardening channel. She's got a lot of fun stuff. I haven't watched you in a while, Rolanda. I have to check in with what you're doing, but really great fun channel. So make sure you subscribe. And to Nicole Smith Gardening, make sure you subscribe to her too. We have a lot of gardening YouTubers here. So if you see a name that interests you, like Nicole Smith Gardening or You Grow Row, make sure you check it out. Oh, Heidi, you started 15 micros yesterday. That's exciting. Good question, Missy. If the plants are grown indoors, how do they get buggy? I think because of the soil. So the bugs I get on peppers are different from the ones I've been getting on my micros. The ones I get on my micros, so they're not so bad on this one, but they're like these little pink aphids. They don't do anything to the plant. Everything still grows fine. They just get infested, and what I'll do is I'll just hose it down in the kitchen sink upstairs. Have to do that maybe once a week or so, maybe once every 2 weeks. Peppers, I guess it's soil again. I know I'm not the only person who has. I know Jen talks about peppers getting buggy. I've used mosquito bits before. I've used Arbor, which is an organic. I like to grow organic, an organic pesticide. Haven't found anything that works really great, but starting them a little bit later for me last year worked out really well. Did I say hi to you, Akelia? Hi, Tree. Happy New Year to you. My son left. We were in holiday mode until Monday, and now he's gone back home with his Girlfriend Riley's still home for now, is all I'll say. I can't divulge anything, but she's home for now with us, which is great. We've been playing so many board games, and if you've sent me a private message on Messenger and I haven't responded, I kind of turned off notifications on Messenger a lot over the holidays, and so I'm still catching up. So I apologize. In the tomato world, there's a lot of private messages, and I just wanted to be present and hold space for my family during the holidays. Rowena, mine says gardening is my therapy. Is that one of Inspired Garden Life's? The shirts are such great quality too. I'm assuming I answered your question by now. My therapist says I need to talk less about tomatoes. During a talk about tomatoes, imagine that. Heidi's here. Hi, Heidi. Speaking of micros, if you're in the group, hi there, my friend. Thanks for watching. I was fortunate enough to be given seeds from Heidi for her latest micro dwarf release called Paws Pride last year. And I grew it over the summer. I posted a review, probably the best micro dwarf I've ever grown. And then Secret Seed Cartel started carrying them when? This fall, Heidi? I think this fall. In fact, it was really kind of strange because I feel like it's the day I put up my review, they started selling, or it was a very close, and it wasn't planned. Fantastic. I wish I had a picture. So I haven't seen anybody else review it yet, but Kina reviewed it today in the group in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. And I'm glad to know that I'm not alone. She and I are on the same page when it comes to this variety. It tastes about as close to a summer indeterminate tomato in a micro dwarf than I've ever grown. It's beautiful. The fruits are a little bit larger. So make sure you check out Kina's review. She also reviewed Bee Times Macbeth, and her Bee Times had a much higher Brix than mine, which, again, keep saying, I think micro dwarfs actually taste better indoors, as weird as that sounds. Anyway, Heidi, you've done a great job with Paws Pride, and I'm fortunate enough to have something else of Heidi's that she's working on, and as soon as I get back from Florida, I'm going to start more seeds for that one. Thank you, Heidi, for entrusting me with your beloved babies. You've got some of mine on the way too. Drew says, got 10.5 inches of snow. How I would love a ripe tomato off the vine. Same. Again, Paws Pride. If you're looking for like what a summer tomato tastes like and you want to grow it indoors, Paws Pride is great. You can get seeds at Secret Seed Cartel. Or if you don't want to place an order, simply put it in our Seed Seeking Saturday post or our Most Wanted post. And Most Wanted, you can have one variety at a time that you're looking for. Enough people have seeds for that at this point that you may just get it. Because we can't just constantly order from vendor after vendor. Right, Kina and Jen? I know I sure don't. Yes, I do. Hi, Michelle. Just started 4 varieties today. It's not too early for us to start in South Alabama. Yeah, that's exciting. I started last year. When you say 4, I'm curious to know, are you staggering? Because I started staggering my starts last year. That was a bit of a game changer for me too. I don't know why I always thought it has to be on the same day, but I'll do a bunch each week, and that worked out really well for us. So I'm going to try that again. Oh, Jen, I keep meaning to ask you about this, Jen, because I know when the deer ate all your tomatoes last year, how devastated you were, and we all were for you. She says, I'm going to try to max out at 300, so it'll probably be 350. I'm expanding where I plant at Materville because I'm planting more than one of each plant this year. I said I was going to do that too. I don't know if I can. I'll do my new cross. I'll do like 2 of those because I need that to grow, but I don't know. Maybe malachite box. Heidi, yes, I gave you seeds for the Kazula 55 F3. She and I Heidi gave me seeds for that last year. Now I'm forgetting what the cross was. Cherokee Purple, I think, right? Was one of them. What was the other? Was it Japanese Trifle? No, I don't think so. I don't remember, but I was searching. I could not find seeds for Kazula 55. Heidi granted them to me, I think in Seed Seeking Saturday, and she had F2 seeds. So I actually grew 2 plants of that this past year, and both were pretty different. So that was a pleasure also. Thank you for those seeds as well, Heidi. One was much bigger than the other and tastier than the other. Hi, Deborah. Thanks for being here. Hi, Eric. I'm only 30 minutes behind in comments. Who's counting? Nicole's already started her 2025 tomatoes. They are about 6 inches tall already. I get to plant outside end of February, southeast Gulf Coast, Texas. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Although I'm sure we wouldn't be saying that in the heat of the summer. But yeah, that's fantastic. One of the nice things about our community is we're worldwide, we're global. So we're always getting to enjoy seeing pictures of somebody's tomatoes. Right now it's Australia and Cindy C from the Philippines and all of that. So we always get our tomato fix. Hi, Danielle. Thanks for being here. Hi, Pretty. Thanks for being here. You're right. It is devastating what's happening in Southern California. If you're joining late, please know our prayers are with you. And again, if you're affected by this, and I sure hope you're not, we will be definitely furnishing you with tomato seeds when you're ready for them again. But I do hope that you're not. And if you are affected by it, please feel free to reach out to Kina, Jen, or myself. Obviously, tomato seeds are the least of your concerns if you're evacuating. So maybe they are a little bit. Maybe you've got a great collection and you're devastated to miss them all. I mean, your photo albums, your family, your pets if you can. I'd be trying to get my tomato seeds, but that's not realistic. Planting pens. I swear, if I empty out some grow bags this year, I bet I'll find a couple, at least one. Hi, Tiffany. First time seeing you live. Started on Instagram, came over to YouTube. Fantastic. Thanks for being here, Tiffany. If you're not already a member of our community, not that everybody here is, not necessarily, but I'm the admin of Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. If you're on Facebook, we are a fantastic group. Collective first, Swap second. We're all about learning and about varieties, celebrating varieties. So we would love to have you. And Deb says, hope everyone considers signing up for a grow app. Me too. Me too. It's exciting. We've been having a really good time seeing who signs up for what. Sashka. Hi, Sashka. Thanks for being here. Hello, hello. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Love you reading your reviews on Instagram. I appreciate that. They obviously take some time. I try to be as detailed as possible. Of course, I have the pictures all ready to go from last year and the graphics made, but looking at my notes and putting it into a review takes a little time. I put 2 new ones up yesterday, though, not today. Hi, Eric. I love this group. I started with 10 varieties. Now I have 85 plus to start for this growing season. How exciting. If you have expanded your garden since joining Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, say something in the comments. Let us know. And if that's true, let us know how many you've started. Diana says it should go on to say you fired the therapist. Absolutely. And Jen, the therapist doesn't know what she's talking about. It's absolutely true. Let me try to... Hi, Nicole. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Jen, you are beautiful inside and out, my friend. I love you. Happy 10 years AOG. Thank you, my love. That means a lot coming from you. Conjured Vapors Peppers. Hi there. Congrats on a decade of growth and helping folks to have a community. Oh, I may just cry. I may just cry. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. And it was a full-time job. I hadn't intended on starting a tomato group. It kind of came as a knee-jerk reaction to a very bad man running another tomato group that just wasn't cutting it. So I started it in response to that, having no idea it would become like a movement. Kina and Jen came on like within 24 hours, I want to say. So we're pretty proud of that too. So I'm blessed. I've got both of my worlds in different groups, but sometimes they merge. I've got many of you that have joined AOG because I keep talking about it. Thanks, blah, blah. I appreciate that. Hi, Riverdale Gardens. Thanks for being here. Thank you all for the congratulations. Francis, here's another one who gets the shirts. Enjoying the chat while sitting in the salon chair. Lucky you. I was realizing like my grays are starting to grow out. I'm going to try to hold off for another maybe 2 weeks so I can get it done right before I go to Florida. But yeah, it's pretty brutal at this stage. My hair goes from like looking okay to goes behind the ears. I spend a lot of time on it and then it just goes flat. Jamie says, I signed up for the Dwarf Tomato Project Grow Out and First Names. Fun. I was excited about our categories last year. I am equally or maybe even more excited for this year. One, because we have more grow outs and we have, Deb, Linda, and Michael. We intend to grow every year. We want to make sure it's stable and slow growth. I know many of you offered so generously to run grow outs yourself. And while we'd love to take you up on it, we really we thought adding 3 more this year. We'll start with that and go from there. So thank you if you have offered. Make sure you reach out to us for next year because we'll grow even more. Hi, Garden Girl. Thanks for being here. Hi, Kelly. I'm at work. Shh, don't tell anyone. Hey, this is work too. We need to form our grow lists. Kim L's here, excited about the new grow outs. Me too. Let me see if I can get them all. Mine are Spanish varieties. Surprise, surprise. Sophia Sakova varieties. Surprise, surprise. And Appalachian Kentucky heirlooms. Jen has naughty names. She has Dwarf Tomato Project, and she's got unique foliage, which would be like chartreuse, variegated, fuzzy, carrot leaf, whatever. Kina has ultra rare again. That is Kina's category. Will always be Kina's category, unless she doesn't want it anymore, but that's her category. First names of people. What's the third one? Oh, food and drink names in the title. I already mentioned Deb has varieties from Tatiana Nagel. Linda has Vitali Alafirov varieties from Kazakhstan, and Michael has microdwarfs. I think I got everything. So that's our 12 categories. Hi, Kim. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope your January's going well so far. Hi, Mike from South Louisiana. Thanks for being here. Hi, Haley. Fashionably late, but excited for the awesome sauce today. Haley, this is White Baby. Put it up just for you, my white micro, which Lucas told me it should stay white, so I'm going by that. And one of my plants, it was actually a very pale yellow, so I'm not taking that plant, but I've got 2. My other plant has even larger fruits on it, so keeping my fingers crossed. I really should have done more plants, but we'll see how this goes. And if I don't get the white, I'll just start more seeds. Yeah, Michael, although you say you do think it's soil since I don't get bugs, except because he grows hydroponically, and he's right. I've never had bugs on my hydroponic tomatoes, but I do on my hydroponic peppers, and which obviously isn't in soil. So maybe they come up from peppers I've got growing downstairs. I don't know. It makes sense that it would be from the soil. And I know my soil, which is Fox Farm Ocean Forest, I'm a complete evangelist for this soil. I know it's buggy, but I'm willing to deal with it because the good stuff in it, back guano, worm castings, mycorrhizal fungi, kelp meal, it's a nectar of the gods for tomatoes. I will just put it that way. I've used other varieties for other things, but for tomatoes, it's like crack. for tomatoes. It just is. They love it. I start my seeds directly in it. My microdwarfs grow in it, but it's buggy. It's buggy. Yes, conjured vapors, peppers. If buying bag soil, ensure the bag does not have holes in it. Yeah, that doesn't always happen with me. I order Fox Farm a lot from Amazon, which is not the cheapest way to get it, but I don't have places that are super close by. So it comes out of the box without holes, but you never know what gets in there. My Amazon delivery person must hate me because these things are heavy. Cinnamon helps a lot. I've used that before. I completely forgot about that. Cayenne pepper, I think, also. Peppermint oil can help. Hi, Susan Cooper. Cinnamon works good for soil gnats. Yeah, sometimes. Maybe I'll try it again. It's been a while. Rowena, about her t-shirt, says, not one of Inspire Garden Life's, one my daughter got me for my birthday last year. I love it. Blah, blah. You've grown Paws Pride. It's fabulous, sweet, and skin isn't tough. I didn't know anybody else had grown it. I don't think I did. I mean, I know people are growing it now, but I haven't. Maybe I missed that you had ripe ones already. And Heidi, the breeder of Paws Pride, says, I am blushing. Thanks for those reviews, friends. Well worth it. Well worth it. And Jamie says, my Paws Pride just started today. I hope I don't kill it this time. And Kina says, Paws Pride was an OMG tomato. I agree. It's funny, when I tasted it last year, it tasted so much like an indeterminate. It's almost like I was in shock. Not to be dramatic, but I'm like, is this as good as I think it is? And it is. Not to mention beautiful. It's like this brick red purple with metallic green stripes in the interior. I definitely showed the interior on at least one show last year. It's great. I should be growing another one now. I grew a couple plants last year. It's fantastic. I know you guys, if you haven't grown it, Secret Seed Cartel carries it, or again, put it in Seed Seeking Saturday or Most Wanted. Kina. Getting back to when I said, Kina and Jen, that we don't have to order all the seeds. Kina says, I don't understand can't and vendor in the same sentence. I know. Kina actually said no to something of mine that I'm growing that is rare. I've only seen it at one vendor. She actually said no. And I forgot all about it. And then she reminded me today that she actually said no to a variety. She's pretty proud of herself. I do things like that too. And then I feel like it gives me permission to order from like 5 more places. But hey, got to start somewhere. Blah Blah says, by the way, you are so right about leaving Vilma tomatoes to fully ripen on the plant. So sweet. Yay. I'm so happy to hear that. I hear some reviews of Vilma that are good, not great. And I have to wonder, like, are you growing it to where they're almost splitting or have split? Because for me, that makes all the difference. And I wasn't intending on making this announcement, but I will. I told Kina and Jen this morning. Many of you know that I have a Vilma plant that was started on August 10th, 2022. And that has given me multiple harvests. I grow it indoors, and it may have died. It still has one little green part on it, but I think I'm in denial. I'm not scrapping it yet, but it looks pretty dead. And I'm in denial. I love that plant. She and I are like this, but she has been very, very good to me. Akelia, I only have room for one Kazula. Which one would you pick? Oh man, there's so many good ones. I loved Kazula 68 this year. What else did I grow? I grew a bunch. 68 was pretty excellent. I think that's the one that's Cherokee Purple, Japanese Black Trifell together. That's what it is. Thanks, Heidi. Kazula 55 is Cherokee Purple and Black Zebra. So I put on my wish list like anything that has Cherokee Purple in the cross. And if you don't know what the Kazula crosses are, make sure you check out the guides in our group. And we have a Kazula breeder resource sheet with all the crosses on it. Anna Jankowski is a breeder from Poland. She's incredibly gifted and prolific, and there's a million different Kazulas. And within like a couple hundred crosses, then there's different variants. So I kind of had on my wish list anything with Cherokee purple in the cross. I was just going to say, if you guys have advice for Kazulas that you love, Heidi has here Kazula 24, 25, 90, 136, 186. Some great ones to start with. Hi, Licia. So excited for the Kazulas and Jarsons this year. Yeah, I grew like 25 Jarsons last year. Fantastic. And our Jarson grow out was epic this year. Licia says, my seed bank has multiplied. My garden will double size this year thanks to this great community. Having pangs of pride in hearing that, Licia. Robin has collected 531 varieties. Nice. Nice. Hi, Hector. Here. I'm dropping some varieties in dirt today. Not sure how many yet. And Heidi, the other Heidi, has added 44 green stalks and a greenhouse and a hoop house. Well, there you go. I think you win. Hi, Linda. I started with a few hundred varieties. Now I have, I don't know how many 100s this time. Yeah, you and me both. Jamie says, I grew 2 in 2024. 28 made my grow list this year. You know, Craig LaHoulier, when he was on with Jen and I, he scaled down to, 16, Jen? 16 varieties last year, and he said it was the most freeing thing ever. I give him credit. I just, as much as I feel like I want to do that, then these rare ones pop up, or I get seeds, like what I will eventually show in a minute today, like rare ones from Russia and, heirlooms that you can't find information on. And there's no way I can not grow it. And like I said, Bananas Noir will always be on my list. That is our tomato. Malachite Box will always make the list. And Suffer Well became one of those last year. Bill Yoder's Suffer Well was outstanding. Linda, we are so thankful for you, Mrs. Tomato Head, Jen, and Kina. You're so sweet. Thank you for doing a grow out for us this year, Linda and Deb and Michael. Michael says, I'm excited for my grow out. Seen some varieties I've never heard of. Me too, Michael. Me too. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for anybody that does the grow out. Jamie says, finding TLC, where'd it go? Has made such an improvement in my mental health. Thank you, ladies, for creating such a wonderful community. That may make me cry. That is the best compliment ever. As much as my other group, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain and Tomatoes, seem worlds apart, they do kind of similar things, and that they help us to deal emotionally with the difficult things in life, whatever that looks like to you. I don't think anybody is immune from some kind of pain. And so I liken TLC to helping my mental health too, because hours I do each Thursday. My shows with Jen once a month, Tomato Talk Live, our unboxing tomorrow, and the other unboxings I do. It is an escape. I kind of forget about my pain when I'm on here. Now I just reminded myself and I feel it, but I can kind of forget about my pain, at least for little chunks. And that's a win. So I'm really happy to hear that, because life is hard. And what a great thing to do, to just be immersed in growing tomatoes. I was just thinking about this morning, and I'm digressing a ton. I know I haven't talked about one tomato yet, and it's already an hour in. So I hope you guys bear with me, because I've got some great ones today. What a seed. I was thinking about it this morning, and I'm not sure why, but one little seed. Think about what the hope that one little seed brings us, for a variety like I'm going to talk about today. Or, I've had a couple friends lately who have gotten some varieties I really, really wanted from Russia. They were only able to send me 2 seeds, because when you order from a Russian vendor, they often give 3, 5, 7 seeds. It's not 10, 25, like you most often get in the United States. And Linda last year gave me the rest of her Depeche Mode line from Bill Yoder. I think she sent me 2 or 3 seeds of each. That's all you need. I mean, hopefully that's all you need and they germinate. But one little seed, the hope that that brings, dreaming about these varieties that we talk about, not just on this show, but in the group, seeing this picture that just looks like you want to pass out. It looks so good. Our mouths watering because we can practically taste it already. To me, that equals hope. That's hope for giving life to something, being able to use I think I mentioned this last week, we get to use all of our senses, touch, smell, sight, taste, of course. I'm not sure what sounds tomatoes make, but they sound awfully good when I'm chewing them, that's for sure. So much hope. So thank you, Jamie. That is an amazing compliment. And I hope that's the case for many of you, that helps you forget about your life's troubles for a while. Haley, in regards to White Baby, it's beautiful. Excited to see how it turns out. Thank you. I think I just gave Kina, Jen, and Heidi, I think I sent you seeds for White Baby too. It's only an F3 at this point, but I think it's going to be a really good one. And I haven't seen any other white micros, so fingers crossed. Kelly says, I have bugs around my Arrow Garden tomatoes. Caught a bunch with the sticky strips. Yeah, good tip. Those sticky strips are great. My local hydroponics shop puts Ocean Forest and Happy Frog on sale every April. Is that our same store? Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking you were Heidi. Pretty, we don't have the same store. So check your hydroponics shops. Good to know. I also found, if you go, what's the name of the shop? It's Ever something. There's one shop online, it starts with an E, that they sell damaged bags. So I was getting damaged bags last year. It just depends on how many they have at the time, but $17 each. You do have to pay for shipping, but it's still a lot better than $30 to $35 US, which you often pay on Amazon. What the heck is the name of the company? Oh, I just had it. Everglades. Let me see if I can find it. It starts with an E. It'll come to me. But I was ordering on them from Amazon as a third-party seller, and then I decided to check out their shop directly, and they do sell damaged bags. So I know it starts with an E. It's going to make me nuts, but I have to find this out. Evergreen. No. I don't want to waste time. I haven't talked about tomatoes yet. If I find it, I will, and if I think of it, I'll mention it out. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sympathies for my Vilma. She's been around forever. She has. Tiffany, yes, Vilma is, I would call it an indeterminate or maybe a super determinate, semi-determinate. Yeah, the fact that it went 2.5 years. This last harvest definitely didn't give me a lot of tomatoes, but I don't know how many times I've had harvests from her over the last 2.5 years. I would say at least 6 or 7. And what I'll do is after the harvest, I'll cut her back. I will refresh the soil. I'm growing her in a 2-gallon grow bag. And then she comes back to life. So there are some micros that can keep going for you. For sure. Joe Chalos is another one. Pause Pride was on my September 1st Micropalooza. That's right. I forgot many of you started from Micropalooza. All right. I'm going to try to skip ahead so we can start talking tomatoes. Rowena, you are absolutely right. It will be like losing a family member. I know. I'm going to get her so you can see what she looks like. It's not good. I'll be right back. Here she is. So if you look, like, this stem is definitely dead. This is still green. So I'm not going to completely give up on her yet. I'm going to cut this dead one off, and I'm going to refresh the soil once again, put my Bigfoot mycorrhizal fungi biostimulant in there, and hope for the best. I'm definitely not ready to give up on her because of that green stem. We'll see. We will see, but I'll keep you guys posted. Here you go, Vilma. You can see the sticky traps do a good job on Vilma, too. All right, should we talk some tomatoes? Sam's here. Oh, I get soil on my desk every single week. I will have 227 planted. Wow, that's great. And conjure vapors, peppers. I've learned so much from Craig over the years. You and me both. And Jen, yes, it was 16 that he grew last year. Yeah, conjured vapors, peppers. I don't know if you've watched the episodes I've done with Jen, with Craig. We've done 3 episodes, but make sure you go back on one of our YouTube channels. Jen's is Jen Joy. Jen Joy Your Day. And every time watching Jen, you would Jen Joy Your Day because she is just adorable, infectious, knowledgeable. It's a great channel. This is her here. If you don't follow her, subscribe to her channel, Jen Joy. She's got, I don't even know how many subscribers, over 3,000. Maybe is it closer to 4, Jen? I'm not really sure. But yes, make sure Craig has been with us 3 times. Jen, we need to reach out to him again and get some 2025 dates in the group. But he's an example of a guest where Jen and I can just sit there like this and just let him go because he's so knowledgeable, so kind, so nice. And I know many of you, he's encouraged everybody, every tomato head out there to reach out to him. So I know many of you talk to him privately too. You can ask questions about breeding, and I have with him several times. So he's a great resource and no ego whatsoever, at least none detectable. Did someone write down the story of the Hazel Creek tomato? I have the story of the Hazel Creek tomato if you're looking for it. Just private message me and I can send it to you. That I featured that on a show a couple months ago. But it's a great story, very rare variety given to me by a friend. I think he's been granting, I know he's been granting to others too. I just don't want to call him out on it without him knowing it. But he's also given me, or given many of you seeds, and it's a very rare variety from North Carolina. Was saved for years and years by families that were moved. Now I'm forgetting about what the national park is, but the national park went in down in North Carolina, and these families were relocated. And so they saved these seeds for a red tomato that they say is amazing, and they've only kept it within the families. And Diana, I'll give you exactly the story. I'm just paraphrasing here. And then our friend, Mike, I'll just call him Mike, he went to like a tomato festival or something, and he gave them some varieties, and they gave him fruits of this so he could save seeds and distribute. So great story. Hi, Eva. At the doctor's office, we'll watch until I cannot. Yeah, Sam, I think it's posted in the group, but maybe not. Maybe not. I will post it because I know so many of you have gotten seeds. I will share in the group when I get a chance. Okay. I could keep talking about, let me just make sure there's no other pressing comments, and then we'll get to some tomatoes. I don't know what this is in response to, but Kina says, when my husband says stuff like that, I remind him at one point I had 8 dogs. Seeds take less space. They sort of require less work. But I agree with you, Kina. Hi, Sue. Nice to see you. Blah, blah says, I find a lot of comfort in growing and tending the micros and, of course, shopping for seeds. I agree. I feel like I'm certainly not the one who discovered growing microdwarfs indoors at all. People have probably been doing it for a very long time, but I feel our group has really brought it to the forefront where we celebrate it, like with Micropalooza. I know other groups do like tomato in a can challenges. So again, I know I'm not like didn't come up with some earth-shattering idea, but I'm so happy to see so many of you doing that because you can get your fingernails dirty, you can enjoy tomatoes, and if I didn't have microdwarfs to grow indoors, I would feel such a void. It's already like after tomato season comes and goes, it's always like oh no, microdwarfs help to conquer that for me. Yeah, conjure vapors pepper. There is green there in Vilma. I'm gonna keep her going. Poor baby. Your poor plant is tired. If she needs to go to microdwarf heaven, I will let her go. I don't want her to have suffering. And she's been very good to me. At this point, we've gotten so close. I love her. She's one of my favorite micros, up there with Paws Pride, Candyberry. What else? Henry Harrington's is another great one. Tiny Totem. I've got a bunch of favorites. So if she's done, if she tells me she's done and that one green branch stem gives out, that's okay. I will live with that. It'll be sad though. Sue, yes, I agree. Craig's manner of speaking is also very soothing, like a tomato therapy session. It is, I agree. All right, let's talk some tomatoes. I thought I would be ambitious today and talk about 14, but it's already over an hour in. So we will see if I don't get to them all. Oh no. You know what I forgot to do? Upload the slides. Give me a minute. I think I can do it right here. I can't believe I did that. Upload new. Well, that would be a terrible episode. Okay, I'll just do this in order. I work so hard on these graphics. Bear with me. It should only take a minute. Unless you just want to look at the slides from last week, but I know I want to look at new stuff. Got some really good stuff. Some of it not available, but some of it I just was able to obtain from some very generous friends, and I'm excited about. But some of them are available, and I'll tell you where. And I have links for everything, I think. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, Diane. I just saw your message. Absolutely. I will share the story. This variety means so much to the person who gave them to me, probably you as well. And also, just keep the story with the variety. Those things are really important to me. And it's too, oh no, did I forget? Oh no. I forgot to make one. That's all right. We'll look at the website. I work all day on Thursdays getting ready for this. In fact, this week I actually started my list of 10 a couple days ago, so I was just adding to it. But the graphics I do day of, and I went through the trouble of making the graphic, but it is not here in my Dropbox file. That's all right. Okay, upload. Almost done. Just got to get them in order. I can't believe I forgot that graphic. I think I made a graphic. Got a couple green ones this week. I've got all the colors this week. And I think after this show, I think I'm going to start episodes unveiling my 2025 grow list. You'll see a lot of repeats of the stuff I've been talking about, but I think, because I only do 10 to 15 a week, I need to start that because it's going to take a while. But it's so hard when you get new stuff in from like trades or generous members, which you guys are amazing. You really are. It's such a generous group in general. It's not just good to me. You guys are good to everybody. And that is part of what makes Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap spectacular. Almost done, I think. Got a couple black ones, some green ones. Some are easy to find, some are not, but they're fun to look at. Okay, how did I forget that one? That's okay. Okay, let's see if these are up here. So I'm going to start with my most wanted for this week. This is last week's Negra de Lucas, and I actually was able to get those. Now I'm forgetting, did I order? I did. I think I ordered it from Tomato Faifu. I think. I know I got it, Negra de Lucas. So here's my next one, and I just found out about this variety recently. This is called Dwarf Autumn Queen Golden. I've seen it listed two places on this site in the graphic, which is echotomato.ru, and then on an Instagram page. That is it. I don't know. Do I know anything about it? I don't think I do. Oh, yes, I do. It's a determinate. Gets up to 1 meter tall, mid-season. Beefsteak tomatoes that weigh 100 to 160 grams, up to 200 grams. Spicy, sweet taste. How good does that sound? Spicy, sweet. Bright ochre colored with stripes in brushes of 5 to 6 pieces. They advise growing in 2 to 3 stems. It's compact. Regular leaf, fruits until frost. And then an account on Instagram said bright tomatoes. Oh, I guess she must have stolen that from the site, or it's the same site. So how good does this look? Dwarf Autumn Queen Golden. Let me, I think I put it in, yeah. So I will put in the comments the site that I have seen it listed on. I'll try to remember to post these links in my show notes after the show. But if anybody knows or has this variety, I would love to trade. It looks like it's brand new. I don't see anything about it other than the site I just put on echotomato.ru. But how good does this tomato look? I mean, it's like ochre with stripes. Kina and Jen, I know you're into it for sure. Spicy sounds awesome. It does. Spicy, sweet, yum. Is it an orange tomato? Yeah, they call it ochre. So orangish ochre, looks like green stripes. I haven't seen an interior photo yet, but it looks outstanding. Hi, Dawn. Obviously joining late. Well, good news for you is I was very chatty and we're just starting talking about the tomatoes. So, Licia. It's nice to see you, Licia. I feel like it's been a while. That's a beauty. Licia is so excited to grow the Sophias. Wait till you see a couple of the Sophias I'm talking about today. Oh, Licia. Thankful for all your hard work, Lauren. Well, thank you very, very much. Kelly, backing up a little bit. My bee times only produce 2 tomatoes. hoping for more down the road. Just picked the second one today. That's disappointing. It is a mini dwarf, so while it can be grown indoors, it will produce less. Mine got up to, I include an info sheet every time I give out seeds. So if you've gotten them from me, I include an info sheet. I think mine were getting between 16 to 22 inches, which is about 55 centimeters. So it's certainly not a small micro. But I did grow one plant in my green stalk last year, and I would say that's about a gallon each. And it produced, but it didn't produce a lot, Kelly. I agree with you. I started saying Kina did the bricks on that, and it was like close to 10. Mine, I think I put on the info sheet were like, I don't think I'm making this up. I want to say between 6 and 7, maybe a little higher. Maybe it was in the 7s. But again, proof that growing indoors may just be the way to go. But it makes me so happy. I was telling Kina and Jen this yesterday, having, gotten seeds for B times Macbeth that were very old. And I looked everywhere for seeds from this. Even Tom Wagner himself, who's the breeder, he didn't have them. And so I was desperate to get these seeds to germinate. It took like 5 to 6 weeks. Finally got one to germinate and then 2 more, and grew it out specifically because I was curious, one, because they bill it as a micro dwarf and a long keeper, but also to share seeds with everybody. If you're still looking for seeds for B times Macbeth, please private message me. I can't do a whole other big thing like I was doing last year, but I'm happy. I think so many of you have seeds already, and many of you have grown it out already, so I'm not the only one with seeds anymore, and that makes me so, so happy to see that. Michael, I'm not giving out any prizes today. Probably won't be back until early March when I return from Florida. Right now I'm catching up on all the seeds I owe people. Hi, my happy place. You didn't miss much. This is my first tomato that we've talked about. Dwarf Autumn Queen Golden. So I haven't seen anybody comment, so obviously, oh, hi, Barb. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining here. I put in the comments where the listing I saw of it. Hopefully by next year, others will have grown it out. Maybe some people from Russia have grown it, but this looks outstanding. So that's my most wanted of the week. Okay, let's start on things I do have. And everything I'm showing today other than this, I have received either this week or recently and just logged it onto my spreadsheet. Now I'm still trying to think of that shop that has the damaged bags of Fox Farm Ocean Forest. It keeps coming to me and then I lose it. It's not Evergreen. Esben Shades, that's it. Yay. Let's find it. Esben Shades. Let's see if they have any right now. Oh, no, they don't have them in stock, but let me show you what it looks like. And like I said earlier, I found them because they're a third-party seller of the Fox Farm on Amazon. But if you Google Esben Shades Fox Farm, you can see this listing says damaged, repaired. Oh, I was wrong. They're $14.99 a bag. And that's for the 1.5 cubic. Why am I questioning myself? 1.5 cubic. Yes, 1.5 cubic foot. That's the big bags. $14.99. So I check on occasion, and sometimes I can get 2 or 3 of them, and then they only offer that. So keep that in mind. Esben Shades. Let me put the link. I'm telling everybody my secret, but I want to share it with you all for sure, because if you're looking for Fox Farm, there is still shipping. And for some reason, the Fox Farm, the shipping isn't bad, but if you try to do Happy Frog, the shipping is crazy where it's just cheaper to get a full price bag. But I haven't found that to be true for Fox Farm. It's still in the 20s per bag, but cheap, like low 20s. All right, I just put the link in the comments for Fox Farm Ocean Forest repaired bag. And maybe check if you have a garden center that carries them. It's worth checking to see if they sell damaged bags, because like I said, that stuff's tomato crack. Okay, here's our first official one. I got seeds for this from Lux Tomatoes in Latvia, and a couple of the ones I'm sharing today I received seeds from a while ago, like maybe a month or two, and I'm just now logging them on my spreadsheet. But this one's called Mila Ragi, and I've seen this listed at other places. It looks outstanding. I have to say, Lux Tomatoes, if you've been there, that's Lux Tomatoes in Latvia. She's got the most incredible photos that go with her varieties. The photo on the left is hers. The photo on the right is something in another language, I think maybe Russia. But Mila Ragi, on Lux Tomatoes, she says it's a productive, indeterminate variety with these beautiful bicolor tomatoes. Fruits in the cluster may be different in shape, uneven heart, and an elongated, plump, ribbed cream. It's a mid-season variety, gets up to 1.7 meters high. Fruit pulp is dense yellow with a crimson tie, low-seeded and sweet. Tomatoes are 150 to 220 grams. So what is that? Less 3/4 of a pound? Is that right? Or maybe half a pound, which would be what, 8 ounces about? Yeah. Despite the thin skin, the fruit has good keeping quality. Therefore, they are suitable for fresh consumption and canning. And then another site called Cuner Garden says it's a new, beautiful, multicolored oxheart tomato from Italy. It's the result of crossing Orange Russian 117. Doesn't say crossed with what, but Orange Russian 117. Fruits are heart-shaped. Not sure if I'm getting heart-shaped from either one of these, but maybe it's not all that stable. If it's new, it may not be. Yellow-orange with fine pink stripes. I mean, both of these came from different sites, and they don't really look like traditional hearts. But maybe there may a couple of those in the background of the Lux Tomato ones look like they could be hearts. Honestly, it's the interior that grabs me on this one. That interior just looks like marmalade heaven. Looks amazing. And Cuner Garden says the fruits have a very sweet, fruity taste, sugary aroma. They say a firm skin. Lux Tomato says thin skin. Can you have thin and firm in the same? Maybe. Maybe you can. Thin but firm. I don't know. Has anybody else have this? Anybody else grown it? Mila Ragi. Oh, guys, no hashtag tomatoes. I'm not giving away prizes today. Hi, Justin. No, sorry if you misunderstood. I'm not starting giving away prizes until early March when I'm back from Florida and caught up on all the seeds that I owe people. So don't bother with your hashtag tomato today. Lisa says, very pretty. And Cynthia, hey, Cynthia, I was just thinking about you today. Nice to see you. Scrumptious looking. Yeah, I agree. Gotcha. So nice to see you, my friend. I've been thinking about you a lot. I started growing mushrooms. I got a North Spore boomer bin, and I've been thinking about the shiitake log that you gave me last year. Oh, that's okay, Heidi. No big deal. I just don't want you guys to be upset that after you put in hashtag tomato, there's no prizes. Not a worry. Not a worry. It kills me to not give away prizes, I will tell you that. But I am weeks behind on many of them. Also have vendors one vendor in particular has chosen over 100 of my varieties. So I need to get these done before I leave for Florida, second week of Florida. So Mila Ragi. Okay, what's the next one? This is another one I got from Lux Tomatoes. It's called Chocolate Heart or Shokoladno Serdce, which is the Russian name. I need to expand this a little bit because, again, the interior, look at this. Look at this. It's got like a chocolate ochre exterior, but the interior looks so much like what I would call a Lauren tomato, kind of a tricolor, but a deep tricolor. It's outstanding looking. I haven't grown it yet. It is on my grow list for this year, for now anyway. Oh, Cynthia, that's wonderful. I hope that log is fruitful for you. You and me both. I'm growing right now Italian lion's mane in my boomer bin. Lion's mane, Italian oyster, blue oyster, and pink oyster. I have those going right now, and I'm very excited. We love mushrooms in my house. We eat a lot of mushrooms. So that's chocolate heart. Oh, let me give you, I don't think I gave you the link to Lux Tomatoes. What did I just talk about? Malaragi. You can find Malaragi at other places. That one doesn't seem to be too hard to find. So here's the listing where I ordered from at Lux Tomatoes. And then let me share with you the link to this Chocoladno Serdse, which translates to chocolate heart. I was telling Kina and Jen the other day, I'm getting like fluent in other languages when it comes to tomato talk, tomato varieties, like Sakhar, Sakhar, I know means sugar. And I know a Russian name for black, green, white, yellow. It's kind of funny. And I'm sure you guys, if you're a tomato head, you're finding that yourself, especially if you like varieties from like Poland and Russia, Ukraine, like I do. I do a lot of like having to translate something when I do my research. So starting to get not really fluent. I'm kind of kidding. But when it comes to names, I could have actually told you that Chocoladno Serdse translated to chocolate heart just from what I've learned. Here's the link to this listing at Lux Tomatoes. It's a new variety from Russia, very productive, tall, mid-season, sparsely leafy. The fruits are beautifully heart-shaped, chocolate-colored, weighing 180 to 300 grams. The pulp is fleshy and dense, sweet in taste, good keeping quality, good storage quality, or shelf life, I should say. And they recommend 1 to 3 stems. So that is chocolate heart, new variety from Russia. Anybody else grown it? That chocolate looks like it will be delicious. I know, I agree. It kind of takes what's beautiful to me about chocolates and goes one step further with the kind of the ochre mixed in with the exterior, and then that interior is just a showstopper. We've definitely been sending prayers to those in the Los Angeles area in Southern California. Hope that none of you out there are affected, but if you are, please just get out safe. We will help you replenish tomato seeds when you are ready. I haven't seen any updated information today, but as of this morning, it was really, really bad. So hopefully those Santa Ana winds died down. Hey, Claudia. Nice to see you here. So that's chocolate heart. I don't know if I'm going to get to 14 varieties today, gang. We're an hour and a half in, and that's number 4. This one, which you can find at a few places, is apricot confiture. This is bred by Sofia Sakova, my love, my obsession, from Russia. Again, the picture drew me in, apricot confiture. This has it's a cross. Well, I'll read that in a minute. Well, no, I'll tell you right now. It's a cross, second line of cross-pollination of Orange Horizon with an unknown variety, and it's in the first line of maple syrup, otherwise known as syrup d'érable, however you pronounce it, which is one of hers, maple syrup. So that's apricot confiture, and my next variety I'm actually going to share. She has apricot confiture in the cross. But let me read to you about this variety. This is also new, a very beautiful and productive variety. Plant is tall, 1.5 to 1.7 meters. Fruits are smooth, flat round, yellow-orange with a red cap or bicolor. When fully ripe, they turn completely red. Fruit weight is 150 to 280 grams. The cut flesh is marbled with a red center, sweet and tasty. They don't crack, shown good resistance to temperature changes. They recommend 1 to 2 stems. And then another vendor, to say anything new, 2-colored, yellow, orange with pink strokes and spots. Pink cap when fully ripe. Flesh is marbled and sweet. And then Tomato Eden sells it as well. Mid-season bicolor, very tasty, Tatiana says. So let me get you the link to that. By the way, if you've never ordered from Lux Tomatoes, they do ship to the United States. So you can certainly order from them. But if you're more comfortable, I mean, Tomato Eden's still out of the country also. But I do have the link to Tomato Eden. And I'm putting that in the comments right now. I share this every week. I'm not a huge fan of solid orange, solid yellow tomatoes, but I do like some bicolors. Last year, I grew Marzipan Gold. I grew ET. Year before, I did Cherokee Purple bicolor, which looked very similar to this. And Clairvoyant Sorcerer, I grew this year. And then some hearts like Eastside Crystal, her grandmother's Majesty, or no, her Majesty's grandmother. So I grew a number of bicolors this year. Were any of the Jarsons bicolor? Yes. One of the Jarsons 16 was like a yellow golden bicolor. Jen gave me a Kazula. I think it was 222. That was a bicolor. So I do have good luck with bicolors. I just don't tend to like solid yellows and solid oranges. Love the colors of apricot confiture. I know. And Cynthia, the meld of flavors and multicolors can be incredible. I agree. If you guys haven't grown Cherokee Purple bicolor, I forgot I was going to put that on my grow list for 2025. I don't know that it's even going to make the cut, but it's a great one. Hi, Neray. It looks like an apricot. Surprise, surprise. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. So that's apricot confiture. And I received seeds from Lux Tomatoes, but again, I put the link to Tomato Eden. Anthony, hi, Anthony. I'm not giving any prizes away today. I know other people were putting in #tomato. It's like one person puts it in and everybody thinks they've missed it out. I won't be starting prize giveaways until early March when I'll be caught up before I leave for Florida, but I'm not going to take on anything new until after I'm back. And then I'll be giving away like crazy again. Okay, this next one is also by Sophia, and she uses apricot confiture in the cross. I just received seeds for this from a friend who was able to order it from Russia for me, and I am tickled pink. I'm tickled whatever because this was on my wish list, and I'm excited to have received it. It's called Rose Gold. It's an F5 of Sophia's. The cross is Chupa Chups or Chupa Chups and apricot confiture. How good does this look? If you go on Sophia's site and you click on the category with all of her varieties, one looks better than the next, which means I've got to grow them all. Just about. So if you sign up for Sophia's Grow Out and you're chosen, you're going to get some rare ones that aren't available for sale yet, only on her site, and she's not selling at the moment on her Russian site. This one, I don't think anybody else is selling it yet, but I do know that like Tomato Eden will be selling it next year, at least probably Graf Samina also. So have no fear. Next year it will be available, but I was fortunate enough to be able to haven't been given 2 or 3 seeds for this, and I'm super psyched. Missy, that one looks even better than apricot. It does. And Cynthia, Chupa Chups, though, I always think of Jen. Yeah, I know. I haven't grown it myself. I haven't heard great things, but sometimes you get a good. Here's a perfect example. Uptown Funk. I grew, I think two seasons ago, It's got two of my favorites. It's got Malachite Box and it's got Pink Berkeley tie-dye in the cross. But it also has, oh gosh, is it indigo? No, forget indigo something. Indigo apple? An anthocyanin variety that is well known for being quite awful, that breeders often use in their crosses, but most people will say tastes disgusting. And that was a great tomato. Had just enough antho to like kind of decorate the top just a little bit. I didn't taste any antho. So, and then there's some varieties with like OSU blue or P20 in the cross, and I hated that tomato too. So I don't completely give up on things. Kina, the orange, I think of you with Chupa Chups, Kina. The orange Chupa Chups that did not have antho was the best. I grew all of them 2 years ago. I remember. So we'll see. I mean, crossing it with that apricot confiture, and it doesn't look like there's much antho on it at the top at all. It is an F5, so it's not stable yet. Is it indigo rose, Kina? It's indigo something. It is indigo rose, right? For some reason, I thought that, and then I'm like, maybe it's indigo apple. It's indigo something, which again, like Fred Hempel, I remember hearing him, the late Fred Hempel, on a podcast a couple of years ago, and he talked about, and he's like, it's really gross, but it's great to breed with. Cynthia, I grew Uptown Funk last year, and it wasn't like the antho. Yeah, I agree. It was fantastic variety. If it had any antho flavor in it at all, I sure didn't taste it. I highly recommend that variety, by the way. It's fantastic. Malachite Box, Pink Berkeley tie-dye, and then a little bit of the indigo rose, but has more of the good stuff than the bad stuff. Okay, so that's rose gold. And if my friend is watching who gave these to me, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, what's next? We'll get off of Sophia, at least for the time being. This next one's from Poland. It's called Favorite 17-1. In Poland, it's spelled, I don't know why I didn't put it up there. Usually I put in two spellings based on the country that it's from, Faworyt. So it looks like Fawor White. Faworyt. And 17-1. It's a new selection. There are other favorite tomatoes out there. This is a series from Poland. I think this is my first one, but it's similar to Jarson or Kazula or Cass or Cantati, where they are numbered instead of named. This looks outstanding. And even these photos are from Lux Tomatoes. Even the other ones that I've seen from other sites look incredible like this. The shape, the color, the interior, it looks incredible. So one Russian vendor, how did I not write down the name of the vendor? Says it's a very beautiful variety, which we almost wrote off and did not want to add to the catalog. But we let the fruits lie for a while and tasted it again, like Vilma. We were amazed how much it had transformed. From a hard, tasteless fruit, it turned into a deliciously appetizing tomato. Conclusion, the fruits need to be fully ripened. This can be determined by touch. If the fruit is hard, give it more time. In return for your patient waiting, you will get luxurious tomatoes at the very end of the season. That is true for what was a rare variety last year that many of us grew, Lavorgienne, which is a cross between Evergreen and Black Crim. Why am I second guessing that? That's right, correct? Evergreen and Black Crim, yeah. Some people that grew it from France, which is where it's originally from the year prior, said it's awful. I didn't find that at all. I think, the top can be hard, but just wait for it to ripen. I thought it was a very good tomato. So some varieties just, I know we get impatient, we want to taste it, but sounds like this may be the case. Let me get you a link. I got seeds for this from Lux Tomatoes again. but I've seen it elsewhere, some Russian sites. Boy, I am chatty today, huh? I don't know if we'll get to everything I want to talk about, but that's all right. I don't want to go much beyond 2 hours because we have lives, right? Okay, here's the link to favorite 17 cross 17 version 1. When you see things like Jarsons have this also 17.1, 7 backslash 2, what that means is there's a cross. Like, let me use Jarson 16 for example. That's a cross between Cherokee Purple and Malachite Box. In that one cross, there are lots of different variants. This year I grew 3 plants, and in those 3 plants I got a green one ripe, I got a golden bicolor, and I got a green one ripe. So even though it's the same exact cross, you'll get the different variants, and that's what the backslash 1 would mean, not just with 17.1, but with Jarsons, Kazulas, and all of that. I mentioned that this micro white baby came from I Dropped the Micro original cross, which was Tiny Totem and Funny Plum Yellow. And within that cross, I now have different variants. I'm not numbering them. I am giving them names. Kina's grown out 2 more for me that I didn't get from the first go around, but she liked them, so she's going to continue on at least with one of them. I forget about the other one. But anyway, that's what the backslash means, and that's what the numbers mean. I don't have a favorite breeder resource sheet yet. Actually, I've started one now that I think about it. Somebody in our group, a new member from Poland, was sharing about them a couple weeks ago, I think, or maybe even just last week. So I'd started a cross list of the crosses that I know. Have not posted it yet. I'll have to remember to do that because I can post it as a work in progress. But you can also find, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, or probably half an hour ago, there's a Jarson cross list in there. There's a Kazula cross list in there. I think those are the only 2 that I have the actual cross lists for. But we have lots of other breeder resource sheets in there. Such a challenge to narrow down the list. I know it. Gardening is life, is Conjured Vapors Peppers. You know it. I'm missing a conversation here. Let's see. Cynthia, thank you, Lauren, Jen, and Kina for all that you do. I appreciate the links and all about the tomatoes. Thank you, Cynthia. I've missed you. I hope all is good. I've missed seeing your name. Glad you're here. Cynthia met up with Jen and I last April when Jen and I met in person for the first and not last time. We drove halfway. If you're new to the group, we each drove halfway in between us. We met up in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and we did a live show from Carlisle, Pennsylvania in a gazebo in a park. And we did it. We put out very last minute, like, this is where we're going to be. If anybody wants to come join us. And Cynthia came all the way from, is it Rochester or Binghamton? I'm forgetting now. I feel like Rochester, New York, far, like 5-6 hours at least. And we met her and her daughter Beatrice, and it was fantastic. And she bestowed all kinds of gifts on us, like mushroom logs, and we all exchanged some seedling plants. At that point, we had started seeds. So, I gave away B times Macbeth to both of them, and some of the Depeche Mode suckers. And like I said, Jen gave me Kazula 222. She gave me some peppers. And it was just fantastic. We need to pick our date, Jen, for the next one. And we will put it out ahead of time so you guys can meet up with us. Maybe we can do a seed swap. That would be fun. Kina, they are on the way to you now. The Drop the Micro Red you haven't named yet. Have I not? What did we name the other one? Oh, Magic Micro. That was Magic Micro. We haven't named the red one yet. Did you say the red is worth growing? Yes. Was it good for you? I've got a list of things. I've got a list of possible microdwarf names that I keep on this little list on my computer. 50 Shades of Yay. That would be great for a bicolor, which so far I only have one. But isn't that a cute name, 50 Shades of Yay? And then I want to get TLC. in a name. So another idea is TLC, Sugar Treasure. That would be good for a sweet one. Or Kina, maybe you name it. Maybe you should name it since you're growing it out for me. Syracuse. I missed you too. I'm here. Has been a lot going on here in Syracuse. You are a doll and a love, and Jen and I were just floored that you came. It was so special. I think about that often. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, the other one we called Magic Micro. I was waiting to use that name. Yes, please do a group meetup with notice, preferably on a weekend. Yeah, we should do it on a weekend. Yeah, totally. A meetup swap would be awesome. Yeah, I loved the place we were at last year. The Wi-Fi wasn't the greatest, but if you go back and watch the episode, it's a little grainy. We cut out a little bit, but it was great. Oh, that's a great name. I'm not going to steal that from you, though, Nicole. Was it good for you? Is a great tomato name, too. That is all yours, my friend. I can't steal that from you. It's a brilliant name. Brilliant. I'm not even going to write it down because that's not fair. It's a great tomato. Unless you want to put that name on the drop the micro variant that Kina's going, and there's no pressure to do that. You, my friend, breed a tomato and call it that. That's a fantastic name. Okay. How often I digress. Okay. What's the next one? So that's from Poland, favorite. This one's not very difficult to find. Tomato Eden, Grafsamina, but it isn't. It's another. Tomato Awesomesauce has it. A lot of I don't think anybody in the United States has it yet. They will after this year, but some of our favorite out of country to me, just because I'm in the United States doesn't mean you are. And if you're watching from Russia or Latvia, you can order these seeds, although it still holds true that Sophia has stopped taking orders for the season on her site. So that's a bummer, but this one you can find, I know, at least at Tomato Awesomesauce, at least at Tomato Eden and Grafsamina. Elena's Emerald Caramel. From Russia, it is bred by both Sofia Sakova and Elena Efremova. From Russia, looks fantastic. It looks very, very similar to variety I grew this year. Was previously called Malachite Elf, but we find out it is not at all Malachite Elf. That was a breeder trying to take credit for a variety. It is actually VD21, and Tomato Eden carries it. Looks pretty similar to that. So it's a heart. It's got antho on it, and despite having antho, at least the VD21 was one of my favorite tomatoes of the year, and this looks very similar. Lux Tomato says it's a productive, indeterminate variety with stunningly beautiful fruits from Sofia Sakova and Elena Efremova. Bush is thin-stemmed with drooping foliage. A lot of hearts have that. A lot of hearts will look kind of sickly if you've never grown an ox heart or a heart before. They're often very wispy, and we can tend to overwater them because they'll look like they need water when really that's just the way they are. By the way, Brad's Atomic Grape is another one. Or Curtis Cheek. I found that too. Don't overwater. They look sickly, but they're not. Fruits are heart-shaped tomatoes, difficult to describe color. Just that alone would make me want to grow it. If you say difficult to describe color, I'm in. I'm not sure if I'm putting this one on my wish list or on my grow list or not this year. I've seen a few of you signing up for the Sofia Sakova grow out have signed up with this one. And as much as I want to grow all of Sophia's, I've got other ones that are not easy to find that I want to grow to share with that grow out group and others, of course. It's not just the grow out group. But it looks great. Looks absolutely great. Burgundy yellow olive strokes and lines on a bronze background. Fruits are 200 to 280 grams. Pulp is very tender, juicy, sweet with spicy notes. You had me with that too. Pulp is very tender, juicy, sweet, and spicy notes. To me, when they say spicy, it means there's some tang to it. And as much as I like sweet tomatoes, I need tanginess. So I talk about this all the time too, and I know I'm not alone. When we talk about the BRIC scores of tomatoes, that measures the sugar content and the sweetness in tomatoes, and that can be important for micros and cherries, but with indeterminates, not so much, not to me anyway. If you're looking for low acid and high sugar, it would be important, but it's hard to find indeterminates that get much beyond 5 or 6 on the BRIC scale. If you find one, it's super sweet. And when I say it's important for micros, I will tell you again, I don't know if Heidi Dolan's still watching, but Paws Pride, I don't think had a really high BRIC score for me. But as I keep saying, that one tastes like an indeterminate, like a summer tomato. So the BRIC score, very little importance to me because it had that spiciness to it. What else do we know about Elena's Emerald Caramel? Skin is very thin, so the tomatoes are intended for fresh consumption. And then to obtain larger fruits, it's better to form the bush into 1 to 2 stems. Let me give you a link to purchase. This one's not really difficult to find. In the United States it is, but here's a link to it on Tomato Eden in Latvia. One of our favorite vendors and breeders. We're doing a grow out for her if you're joining us late. Her name's Tatiana Nagel. Many of you know her already because she's just a fabulous person and vendor. All right, I just put the link to this in Tomato Eden in the comments, I think. But I don't see it. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. So here's the Tomato Eden listing. I got mine from, I think, at least 2 places because I forget I order it. Grafsamina, Tomato Seta, and I think maybe Lux Tomatoes too. That's all right. Oh, Kina went to bed. Bummer. I've got some good ones coming up. You'll have to watch tomorrow, Kina. But good night. Yeah, 2 hours. So it's like midnight your time. Sorry, Kina. I have the best of intentions to keep things short. I really, really do. Let me say good night, Kina. Good night, Kina. We love you, Kina. Missy, thank goodness Ken Fry told me about hearts. I was ready to chuck the plants. Yeah, it's something that unless you've grown one before, you wouldn't necessarily know. But when it first started happening to me a couple of years ago, because I don't grow a lot of ox hearts. That's changed a little bit over the past 3 years, and I'm growing several this year. But yeah, Curtis Cheek looked like it was going to die. Homer Fikes Yellow Oxheart looked like it was going to die. They just do. But when you overwater, you stand to give them edema. They'll get sick, and you won't have any tomatoes. So try to thwart any pull you have to overwater when they look sickly. Diana's been in and out while cooking dinner. Well, good. You'll all be in bed, and I'll still be talking about tomatoes. Cynthia says, I'm going to cut into my sourdough and smear it with my tomato jam. All this talk of tomatoes, and I haven't eaten yet. Yum. I have a fresh loaf waiting to get in the oven when I get off the show. My poor family, we eat so late because I'm always doing this or working in one of the groups or whatever. That's okay. Rob works late too. 55 years old, and he's still working like he's 20. He's a part owner of his business, but still, I keep telling him, like, you're old now. He's got over 100 people in his company. It's time to pass things off. But alas, he can't. He's very good at what he does. Thanks for the info on heart tomatoes. You're welcome. That's a good reminder that things I think everybody knows don't necessarily know. So I'm glad I mentioned it because they do look sickly. Oh, Diana, I'm happy to teach you to make sourdough. As a matter of fact, the way I do it is so simple. There's what is her name? Elaine Boddy, Boddy. She's from the UK. She's got a fantastic book called, I'm downing myself with everything tonight, The Sourdough Whisperer. She also has a website, so her recipe's right on her website, which I think is Foodbod. But I'll put it in the comments. I'll make it a banner. The book is great. Elaine Body. And the book is called The Sourdough Whisperer. She keeps it so simple because a lot of the YouTube channels overcomplicate everything. They talk about ratios of water to flour and all of that. I've been growing. I've been making for almost 3 years now. Hers is simple, and I get a great loaf every time. And I make a new loaf every other day for Rob and I now, Riley. So we eat half the, I don't know how to pronounce it in France. It's Boule. It's a round loaf. Comes out perfect. I do it in my cast iron Dutch oven, and it's very simple, just a matter of feeding. So I feed and start the dough every other day, and then today I got to bake it, and it bakes in the oven for our 10 minutes, and we get a fresh loaf. I used to be so intimidated by the thought of doing sourdough, and I've never, historically, I'm not a bread person. Like even with I do tomato sandwiches, but I put it on Wonder Bread because I want the tomato to be the star, and I like that bread melts in my mouth, even though there's zero nutrition in it. In fact, it's probably awful, and I am a health conscious person, but when it comes to tomato sandwiches, I need Wonder Bread. Shout out if you're with me. Even with my sourdough, I don't put tomato sandwiches on sourdough. However, tomato jam or my tomato crack, Cynthia, I will absolutely put on sourdough. But I highly recommend, and if you have any more questions about sourdough, any of you, please feel free to reach out to me. Just Google her. She will come up. Her master recipe is right on her website. You don't even have to buy the book. And she's got a couple videos on YouTube. I don't even need to look at the recipe anymore because it's so second nature. And I will tell you, the starter I got was a dehydrated starter that I got from Baker Creek a couple of years ago. They have this old heirloom starter that they say is a couple 100 years old. I want to say Kazakhstan, but I think it's actually a different country, a different something Istan, I think. So I got, and it just took a couple days to start it back up and rehydrate and feed and discard and feed and discard. And now I've got, a very alive starter. And, depending on the time of year and what kind of flour you use, it will be more sour than other times. The summertime, it gets to be more sour, and the dough proofs better because it's a little more humid inside. If you use whole wheat flour, at least a little bit, it will grow more. But I tend to use just regular bread flour. I've started putting a little bit of whole wheat in it, not to mention the health benefits of the starter in sourdough has probiotics in it because it's a fermented thing. So, okay, I should do an episode just on sourdough. This is how I digress. Wonder Bread, are you making fun of me or are you with me? Blah, blah. Anyone know where I can find taste test or review of the tomatoes grown by Lauren? I'm not seeing anything. I don't do, I do some YouTube reviews on this channel. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, my written reviews are on my Instagram, which is Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. And you should be able to see even if you don't have Instagram, but I will put the link to my Instagram channel in the comments right now. Interesting sourdough info. It really is so much easier than you would think once you get the hang of it. I definitely did some trial and error in the beginning, but now it's second nature. Heidi's intimidated by dahlias. Tiffany, yeah, we were talking sourdough. This is what I'm talking about. I digress all the time. Oh, love. Good. I'm glad you love. Yeah, I'm, in the summer too. This is the first summer I haven't grown lettuce or first winter I have not grown lettuce indoors. Usually we've got salad all year round, but I just didn't this year. And I'm probably going to start maybe some seeds before I go to Florida. This is talking to Cynthia Floyd, but Akelia, this is my first year growing from my own tomato seeds. I've got to tell you, I remember that feeling my first year growing from seeds I had saved. There's something, it's such a mindfulness thing to me. It's very mindful, the whole process of growing a tomato, eating the tomato, saving seeds, fermenting, or whatever process you use. I do fermenting for a few days, and then drying them, saving them, sharing them, and then growing from your own saved seeds. Oh, it's just the best feeling for me. And I know I'm not alone. If you guys feel the same, say so in the comments. Lisa, I hope that answered your question about my reviews. You can find some micro reviews on my YouTube channel, but I just grow too many to do individual taste test reviews. But I do pretty extensive written reviews on my Instagram page and on our public Facebook page, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. I kind of forget to put the Instagram post there sometimes, though. Justin, it's not like YouTube videos to overcomplicate things. I know. And for somebody just starting out in sourdough, those are not the videos you want to be watching because it will make you run the other direction. It really is so simple the way Elaine Body does it. And sometimes I'll play around now with a little more flour, different kinds of flour, whatever. But it's 500 grams of bread flour, 350 to 60 grams of water, 50 grams of starter, and 10 grams of salt. That's it. That is it. And there's a whole process of like making the dough and pulling and all of that, which is also very simple. But I didn't think I could ever make sourdough, and it's fantastic. Highly recommend. Would you watch an episode on sourdough? Interesting. Not sure how much I have to share other than what I've already shared, but my loaves look great. Thanks, Michael. I love video reviews, but your written word is so good. I don't miss the video. Thank you, Michael. That's a huge compliment. Thank you. Michelle, I just dusted off my bread machine. Great. And you'd like to see a sourdough show too? I will. You know, I watched a lot of those complicated YouTube videos, and I was like, ugh. And I've taught so many people, but honestly, I'm just sharing Elaine Body's process because it's so great. Food Bod Sourdough is the name of her. I think it's her Instagram, and maybe I know she's got a good Facebook page too. But yeah, check her out, or the books, The Sourdough Whisperer. I truly only use like the first 20 pages of the book. I don't even open it anymore because I know it so well. But I also use my sourdough starter to make killer pizza dough. It's similar recipe. That is not in this book. I found it, excuse me, I think it's a New York Times recipe. Same recipe, except more starter. It's 100 grams of starter, 500 grams of bread flour, 375 grams of water. And I use these pianola tomatoes in a jar that I get from Amazon that are not cheap. And then I use this liquid vegan plant-based mozzarella from Miyoko's. Oh my God, is it? And then drizzle with aged balsamic. To die for. Tiffany, I don't do a lot of beignets, but we make sandwich bread and a bunch of other things like cookies, English muffin sourdough discard pancakes. Sprinkle some chives on it. I haven't used sourdough. I don't really discard anymore like I did when I was first feeding it, but I should. And I've also given a lot of starter away to people. That's another beauty of sourdough starter. You can take a little starter, give it away to people. In fact, maybe when Jen and I meet up in April, if anybody wants some of my starter, I'd be more than happy to give some. And that way you don't have to rehydrate anything. I'd just be happy to know what the standouts were in flavor. Well, check out my Instagram page. You will see it. You will absolutely see it. I mean, Rob and I are tasting 5 to 6 a night. I know Jen doesn't. She does it in a group, and they're amazing. Rob doesn't really care to be on camera, so I do written. And for me, I feel like it helps me get, I don't know. I mean, I'm not at all taking away from what Jen does, because a lot of what I grow is based on Jen's videos. She does an amazing job, and with editing and all of that stuff. I think because I'm a writer, I think I just find writing a little bit easier for me to get across where I want to get it across. But you can watch Jen, read me, and it's perfect marriage. Claudia's going to bed. Good night. Whose recipe do you follow? I missed that. Her name's Elaine Body. Her book is called The Sourdough Whisperer. But if you Google Food Bod sourdough. She also has a Facebook page. I'll put this in the group too. Food Bod sourdough. Her recipe for the master recipe is right on her Facebook page and on her website. It's like a blog she has. She doesn't put out a lot of videos because she keeps everything super simple. I like that. Don't worry about ratios of water and having a pan of water with the steaming and all of that. I don't bother with any of that. Don't need it. And Tiffany, I bought a loaf, like a silicone loaf pan for this next year. I'm going to give a try to doing sandwich bread with I tried it once and it did. I think I need to follow it. Elaine has a bread, like a slicing bread recipe. I think I need to change things up a little bit. I tried it once and it failed. Don't let that discourage you. It was definitely trial and error for me for a few weeks. Just getting like the right, her recipe's kind of a baseline. I found that baking time differed depending on how dark you like it. And my first couple loaves were an epic fail. In fact, I made them into focaccia bread, which is basically like a thick pizza, because it didn't rise and all of that stuff. But it sure makes a great focaccia bread too. I will share the pizza dough recipe. It's great. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a New York Times recipe. Okay, let's get back to tomatoes. Sorry for digressing. How many have we? Oh my God, we're over 2 hours. Sorry, gang. All right, what's next? Just received seeds for this from a friend from the group who knew I had been seeking it out. It's called Sugar Magnolia. Not yet officially released by Bill Jeffers of the United States. Why did I want this so badly? Because it's a malachite box or malachitовая шкатулка cross. And I've been eyeing it for a while. I don't know what generation it is, but it says the seed line comes from 2 different crosses. One cross using malachite box, and it looks like something else with celebrity in it, and Brandywine and another cross. So it's a malachite box cross and a Brandywine cross. And that gives Sugar Magnolia. It's been a few years that he's been trialing this out with some of his trusted friends in his Facebook group. I was able to get seeds from a good friend, and I am just over the moon. This is absolutely going on my grow list this year. Really, really excited for Sugar Magnolia. I mean, I don't think I've had a malachite box cross that was bad. I don't know what these other crosses are, but I also know Brandywine's a great tomato. So the malachite box cross and Brandywine cross, it's got to be good, right? I mean, it looks phenomenal. Yeah, blah, blah. That is a nice one. Looks like a persimmon. Yeah, it really does. That coloring, for sure. Ooh, that's pretty. I think so too. Even if it wasn't, I would want to grow it because just for those crosses. I find I need more water in my recipe. For me, it depends on the kind of flour that I'm using, for sure. I stayed very true to this recipe for a long time. That's when I felt comfortable playing around with more water. And if I use whole wheat flour, which I've kind of just started, just a little bit. I don't like all whole wheat. It gets very dry and not very good. It's probably better for you. But I've just started adding in like 90 grams of whole wheat flour. Helps it rise more. It helps it become more sour. But I also find it needs more water, for sure. My favorite tomato varieties for pizza. Excuse me. Well, I have a jar. It's kind of sacrilegious, but I have a jarred version, which I can actually go get. Order from Amazon. It's not cheap. It's like $19 a jar, but it does go far. But I've also found there's an F1 variety called Little Napoli. It's a compact variety. They're Roma tomatoes that are super sweet. In fact, I've been working on stabilizing a dehybridized version of it that I call Tiny Napoleon. It's no longer anything like Little Napoli, but it's still very tasty. That I like. I do a recipe using, what do you call it? Phyllo dough, sheets of phyllo dough, brush with butter. I use vegan butter, sprinkle with a little vegan Parmesan cheese, and keep stacking that up. And then on the top is sliced Tomatoes, Roma tomatoes would be good because they're not that watery and it won't dampen your crust. You want it to be flaky. Let me show you. I'll go get a jar of what I'm talking about. It's sold by an Italian distributor on Amazon, and they're true Pinolo del Vesuvio tomatoes grown in the soil of Mount Vesuvius, which is why it's so expensive. It's got the DOP designation, which means it is certified from Italy, and it's certified to be true pizza from Naples, Italy, which is the birthplace of pizza. They have a very specific way of making pizza there. They've got a whole association where they like a specific flour for the dough. They do use sourdough, believe it or not. And then this, you can see, I mean, their whole tomato skin and all with seeds. It's just delicious. The distributor's called Gustiamo, but I get them from Amazon, and I'll get a couple at a time. But I find like a jar can get me a couple, definitely at least 7 or 8 pizzas. Okay, back to tomato. Sugar magnolia. Oh, good, Achille. Little Napoli's a really good one. A really good one. We first found it many years ago at Home Depot, of all places. They sell it as a compact variety. It doesn't get any taller than like 3 feet tall, and the tomatoes are delicious. It is a hybrid, which means you can't save seeds from it and get the same result. But like I said, I think I'm on F8 now. I don't know why I'm not just releasing it, but now I'm getting it. It looks nothing the same. It's still like a micro mini dwarf, but now they're round tomatoes instead of Roma, but they still have that great flavor. And since it's no longer the same tomato, I can't call it a dehybridized Little Napoli. I just can't do it. It is Tiny Napoleon. It started as Little Napoleon. Now it's Tiny Napoleon. But that is a really good one. If you're looking, and if you're looking for seeds from that, make sure you check out. Kina has started a new game. This is our second week on Wednesdays. It's called Haggling Hybrids. This is a great place to get seeds for any F1 hybrid seeds you may be looking for. They can get pricey. In fact, Little Napoli, I couldn't find seeds for that for a long time. Now I've seen them many places, but for a long time I couldn't, which is actually why I started dehybridizing it years ago. But anyway, so F1 seeds could get pricey. I mentioned this last week. I showcased a new variety by Fred Hempel, the late Fred Hempel. It's a mini version of his Benevento called Mini Vento. They've just released it. It's an F1, and seeds weren't cheap. So Haggling Hybrids, it's a great place to not only share your F1s, like maybe you grow Sungold every year, you purchase a pack, you only need like 2 seeds. You can share with others. Everybody can share their hybrids, or buy a couple and you can take part in that game. Nothing wrong with hybrids. They are fantastic. I think I'm growing Mini Vento this year. I grew Benevento 2 years ago. It was great. Really? Victory Seeds has it now. Did not know that. Interesting. I know Victory does sell a lot of F1s. I got one Purple Zebra Cherry something. I got an F1 from them. But yeah, I think Territorial Seed has seeds for Little Napoli now. Just, again, make sure you realize that they are hybrids. So you could save seeds from it. You could grow it again. You won't get the same tomato. So you can't really call it Little Napoli anymore. Okay, Sugar Magnolia. I'm excited for that. Okay, this one I got from, I don't have a link to Sugar Magnolia because it's not readily available yet. I don't know what generation it is, so I don't have a link. If you're in Bill Jeffers' group, you can search it. In fact, if you just search Facebook and put in Sugar Magnolia Tomato, maybe it will come up. But yeah, if my friend who gave me these seeds is watching, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's like hitting the lottery. Black Iceberg I got from Common Sense Seeds. Uh-oh, these are all screwed up. The order. Is this right? We'll try it. Black iceberg, which is also the same, and I only found this out today, as black Aysberg. I knew all about black Aysberg tomato. I've seen it before. I've never grown it. But when I ordered from, I think it's Common Sense Seeds, they had it listed as black iceberg. Yes, Common Sense Seeds. They say it's an excellent black beefsteak tomato. The photo on the right is from Bounty Hunter Seeds. So Bounty Hunter carries it also under black Aysberg. I did do the translation. Aysberg means iceberg. So Common Sense Seeds, which is in Canada. Yes? Canada. Yes. They have it listed as black iceberg. So I thought they were two different varieties. They are the same. It's from Russia. Common Sense Seeds says it's an excellent black beefsteak, beautiful ribbed fruit of brick red chocolate color. Who's grown black Aysberg or iceberg before? I want to hear from you guys. I may stop after this one. It's getting late. It's getting late. Bounty Hunter says this is a black beefsteak tomato from Russia, mid-season with regular leaves. It's an indeterminate plant that will keep producing until frost. They produce a medium-sized beefsteak tomato with weights between 5 to 10 ounces. They are juicy and sweet, but have a little acidity to them. And these dark beauties also have a bit of tang to them. Sounds like my kind of tomato. Doesn't it look amazing, Rolanda? It's just gorgeous. I love black tomatoes, not anthocyanin, but black like this, black crim. I love this deep brick red color. Let me get you the link to, you can get it on Common Sense Seeds. They do ship to the United States. They're a great vendor. I haven't done an unboxing from them yet, but I do have an order, which I will do soon. Tomorrow, if you're just joining or joined late, Jen and I will be doing an unboxing of Old South Seeds from Etsy. We're going to be doing it at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But I do have some other unboxings I need to do too. Okay, let's get black Aysberg. Uh-oh, did I forget? No, I didn't. Here it is, actually, the link from Common Sense Seeds. They have some really nice... Oh, did I do an unboxing from them? I think I may have. How soon they forget. Here you go. There's the link, and you can get it on Bounty Hunter also. Hey, Cindy. You're late. You're late, and I'm very late. Yes, yes, yes. Blacks, purples, yum. Agree. I so want black purple micro for winter hydro. Oh, there's several. There are several, Lisa. Hopefully you know that. But there's Tartufo, Chernichka, Voroni Glaz, Ink Spot, Blau Zimmer Tomate. I'm almost positive Tartufo, Purple Boy, those are the same. They're translated, like Tartufo translates to purple. So a lot of places will have it as two different varieties, but they are, in fact, the same variety. But I'm a big fan of, if you can get your hands on Chernichka, which is from Russia. I grew that this past year. It's delicious. Ink Spot is great. I really liked also Tartufo, Blau Zimmer Tomate, Lil Red and Black, which I got from Canada last year. I find that even the micros with anthocyanin tend to not have a lot of antho taste, so I like them. Oh, a true black purple. You know what? The true black purple without antho would be Pa's Pride. Honestly, Pa's Pride, bred by Heidi Dolan, which we talked about a little bit in the early part of, actually a lot in the early part of this episode, is the newest release of hers. You can get it on Secret Seed Cartel. Looks very similar to this. Kina put a review up just in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap just this morning. And it tastes like an indeterminate purple or black. You would love it. I did buy Ink Start and just started it. It's a good one. It's a really good one. They're tiny little guys, but they're good. Yeah, true black purple. I can't think of any others but Pa's Pride at the moment. I'll see if I can think of others, but I think that's it. Oh, Lisa, I just started Paws Pride from Secret Seed Cartel and Hydro. It looked like my best bet. It is. It is. I declared it as my favorite micro of all time. It's way up there with like Candy Berry, Vilma. Kina did a great review of it today too. She agreed it's an OMG variety. So you're in for a treat. Oh, I'm excited for Paws because I just saw your review on Instagram. Whoa, crazy timing. I'm glad you liked it. I put that review up the day I tasted it because I had to tell everybody, oh my God, if you think micros are tasteless, give this a try. Excited. You should be. It's a treat. Okay. How many more do I have? Should I just keep going? There's 3 more. I can do this fast, I think, because next week I'm going to have another million of them. I saw some viewership going down, but now it's going back up again. We're going on 2 hours, 22 minutes. Oh, Heidi, you're still here. Good. I was hoping you were, but I don't assume anything because 2.5 hours is a long time. My dad, his variety's named after her dad, must be smiling out there. Yes. And Gigi's Glory, which is Heidi's other micro, which was released the year before, is named after her mom. Right, Heidi? I'm not getting that wrong, right? Yeah. Heidi, can you think of any other like purples, black micros that aren't antho? I can't off the top of my head. There's dark stripe and dark dwarf multiflora. I consider those to be more mini dwarfs, although Paws Pride could be a mini dwarf, but you can grow it as a micro also. It's a little taller, but dark stripe gets pretty tall. That's a small dwarf or a mini dwarf. Dark dwarf multiflora, it's a little smaller. I wouldn't consider that a micro either. And then I got a variety from Grafsamina last year. Sorry about the on-off with the with the heater. That's the beeping you hear. Hot and cold, hot and cold. I'm 55. What can I say? They have a variety. She has it listed as a micro dwarf. It is not. Called Shokolodnik. It's not even a mini dwarf. It's a dwarf. It was good. It was black like this. But if you purchased it and intend to grow it as a micro, you're out of luck. It is not. So I think Paws is really the only one. I got it right. Yes. Gigi's named after her mom. Paws named after her dad. Dark Spot. What's Dark Spot? I don't know Dark Spot. Do I? Dark Stripe, I know. I grew that a couple of years ago. That was tall. That was definitely tall. Mini dwarf. And then I grew Dark Dwarf Multiflora this past year. That was not quite as tall, but I wouldn't consider it a mini. I wouldn't consider it a micro necessarily. Sue says, my Gigi's and Paws are just starting to flower. Looking forward to trying them. Yeah, I'm not trying to take anything away from her other one either. Gigi's Glory is the best yellow. I've had that Funny Plum Yellow I really liked. With Gigi's, I find a lot of the yellow micros are flavorless. They're not bad. They just taste like nothing, like water. And to me, that's part of the reason why I aim to grow all of them and review all of them, because I don't want you guys to waste your time on something like Mohammed or Monetka. They're fine. They're cute little micro dwarfs. They're not going to have much flavor at all. But Gigi's Glory, that stopped my thought that all yellow micros were flavorless, because that was delicious. And it's a multiflora too. I think the first true micro multiflora as well. Heidi's very gifted. Very, very gifted. That looks so yummy. I went to feed the chickens and came back on hoping you were still on. Yeah, this is going down as one of my longest. Sorry, gang. Hi, Terry. Lurking, maybe. Looks young. Yum. I don't know blue suede shoes. Not a micro. Maybe it's a regular dwarf. We're talking about trying to find another purple micro dwarf other than Paws Pride. I'm not sure it's out there. Oh, Lois Baby Tiger. I did grow that. Honestly, for me, I've seen some that are more purple. For me, it was like a green and metallic purple stripe. More green when ripe than anything else. But It might be a black. I did grow it. It's a nice variety. Oh, yes. I was going to say this, and I know some people are growing it, so I try to not be so vocal about Orange Hat. It is a spitter. And unfortunately, that's the one that Baker Creek sells. I don't know if they've added more to their lineup, but it's an adorable one. It's always very healthy and beautiful. It's a spitter. It is not worth growing at all. For me, that was my very first micro dwarf, though, and then came Tiny Tim, which is not tiny. That is a mini dwarf. So don't fool yourself that that's a micro either. That's large. If we're talking about Orange Hat Pointless, yeah, it's really pretty, but Blue Sage Indeterminate Cherry by Gary Fitzgerald. Okay, so definitely not a micro. But I don't have that one. Maybe I'll get in the MMM swap. Oh, good, Lisa. My next is Vilma after Orange Hat. Big improvement. Agree. I'm really glad you let the Vilma ripen. It makes a world of difference. Okay, I said I was going to do this quickly. This one's called Maize Green Pineapple. This is an interesting one. I found it at a site in Canada, and I can't order from this site. What is the site? It's called Eagle Ridge Seeds. So for those of you in Canada, you can order. I don't know, elsewhere in the world, maybe you can, but they don't ship to the United States. So thankfully, I have a good friend from Canada who offered, I wanted this one, and they had a long keeper variety that I don't have. So she ordered from Eagle Ridge Seeds for me. And because of the Canadian strike, I didn't get it for a while. I just got them yesterday. So let's talk. Yeah, Groovy Tunes is a mini dwarf also. That's a very large, I wouldn't consider it a micro. But yeah, that's purple and green striped too. It's a good one. That's got chartreuse foliage, which is really pretty. Anybody can enter that for Jen's unique foliage grow out. If you're growing many micro dwarfs, the Groovy Tunes stick out like a sore thumb because they've got this beautiful chartreuse foliage. But yeah, I consider that more a mini dwarf than a micro. Justin says, I want to grow all the Elvis themed tomatoes. That's a good idea. Another pineapple, says Nicole. All right, let me tell you about this one. I don't know if it's its own variety or not. Here's what, let me get you the link to where I ordered it from. And if my friend is watching who got me these seeds, thank you very much. Very grateful. Again, it's from Eagle Ridge Seeds. Here is the link. I love green when ripe tomatoes. If you've watched me before, this is not a surprise. In fact, one of the ones I forgot to post today is another green when ripe, but I'll save that for next week. Here's what Eagle Ridge Seeds says. It says, our local garden friend named May shared this tomato with us many years ago. She invited me for lunch to try this unique green slicer, which has a slight pink blush on the bottom when fully ripe. Her description at the time was, this is the best tasting tomato you will ever taste. And then they write, well, we pay attention to those accolades, especially when they are true. Be sure to support this semi-determinate vine well, as you can expect great production. So it doesn't say anybody bred it. It says that her friend had her taste the seeds. It could be Malachitavaya shkatulka, for all we know, which I would argue is the best tasting tomato of all time. That doesn't suffer well. So it could be that. Maybe she didn't know the variety. I mean, it could be a number of green tomatoes. I find that one, and I know I'm not alone for those of you that have grown Malachite box before. It is so insanely flavored. It is delicious. If you've never grown it, if you've never grown a green one ripe, you want to grow that one. Trust me. You may not be able to get over the color of it, but wait till you taste it. It checks all the boxes for me. Delicious. And that's why I grow every Malachite box cross I can find too. It doesn't say. So a lot of times this will happen at vendors, like a friend gave them a plant and it was like hand-me-down from years of Italian. It could be an Italian variety for all we know. This one, we don't know what it is, but she's calling it maize green pineapple. Will I be growing it? Yes, I will be growing it likely next to Malachite box so I can compare. I'm always trying out new green one ripes because I guess I always think like maybe something could be better, but it never is. Del Nerpio Verde a couple of years ago they said was better. It was good. It wasn't better. Grew one this year. The Jarson 16, the green one ripe version, which has Malachite box crossed with Cherokee Purple. It wasn't better. It was great, but it wasn't better. So that's Maize Green Pineapple for all it's worth. I haven't seen it anywhere else. If you Google Maize Green Pineapple Tomato, it will take you only to that one store. So I am going to grow it. Thank you, Akelia. How do you remember all these tomatoes? You are amazing. I liken it to being an idiot savant. When it comes to tomatoes, I can't remember anything. But when it comes to tomatoes, I do. It comes to me, I guess, because I'm super excited about them. And I do a lot of research on tomatoes. I find them fun. It helps me to escape from living with, chronic pain, which I talked about earlier in the episode. I mentioned earlier that my other group, Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain, we're going to be 10 years old on Monday. So we were talking about that a little bit. But I love tomatoes. I love growing tomatoes. I like peppers, but not like tomatoes. To me, this is my passion. So my memory's good with it. All right, this next one is another one I got from a friend who was able to order them from Russia for me, called Painted Piglet. And I had this on my wish list also. Raz Krabovane Prosaya from Russia. This is a Lauren tomato if I ever saw one. A lot of the tomatoes I grow look like this because I love the looks of it. I love that tricolor look. And so often they're delicious. My Jarson one tricolor, for those of you who have received seeds from me over the past 2 years, has this kind of coloring in it. It's one of the best tomatoes I've had. So many great tomatoes that have this coloring on it, and I'm growing many of them this year. This one's called Painted Piglet. I will put the link to where you can find it online, but unless you can order from Russian vendors, and some of you can, I cannot. You can at least see the listing, and I've only seen it listed at 2 different Russian vendors. Okay, I'm putting the link to one of those vendors in the comments right now. It is a tall, early ripening variety with long fruiting, powerful bushes with thick stems. On the outside, the tomatoes have a bizarre mixture. I like bizarre mixture of pink, green, and burgundy and yellowish tones. And in the cut on a greenish background, there is a pink core with pink veins. The pulp is tender, very juicy. You can feel the delicious fruity sweetness with a slight sourness, with a fruity strawberry pineapple taste. I repeat, fruity strawberry pineapple taste. A very tasty variety. I think it's brand new. So after this year, you will likely see it at vendors like Tomato Eden. Probably more than likely. Pretty sure she's growing this year. This is Justin. This is a question. Any potato leaf GWRs? All my 5 varieties are normal leaf. That's a great question. I feel like somebody asked this the other day. I'm going to have to think on that one and look back at my notes. I guess I'm not as much of an idiot savant as I think. I feel like there is, but I can't think of one offhand. Justin, I will get back to you on that because now it's a quest. Potato leaf GWR. Gosh, I can't think of one. Like solid green one ripe we're talking, right? I will get back to you. Challenge accepted. Or unless anybody else can answer that question here. Linda, it is a very Lauren tomato, isn't it, Linda? Yes. Missy, good night, everyone. Time to finish dinner. Thank you, Lauren. Stay safe and warm. You too. Multicolored, very nice. I only have one more, guys, so if you're thinking of jumping ship, just one more, and I'm done with Painted Piglet. Looks amazing. Thank you. You know who you are, who got these for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then the last one. J&L Gardens is a vendor that I've heard of for a few years now, but I've only recently ordered from. This year is the first year. They're responsible for a lot of great tomatoes, very unique tomatoes. I need to do an unboxing for them too. I've got stacks of these just sitting over there because you want to check them out. And this next one I got from them, although you can actually no, I think I've only seen it. I've seen it for sale, or I've seen it listed 2 places, only actually for sale at one place. It's called Silvory from Russia. These photos are from a site that I've taken pictures from often. It's called heirloomtomatofarm.com. I don't think they actually sell anything anymore. They have like B times Macbeth listed. They have a variety that I know I'm not alone in searching for. Prince Charming's Bastard by Phil Seneca. I've been looking for that one for what feels like forever. I've kind of exhausted all my resources with that. They have it listed, but they seem to be out of stock on everything. I'm not sure they actually take orders any longer. So that's where these pictures came from, only because the ones at J&L Gardens, their photo wasn't as good, and I wanted to show a good photo. So J&L Gardens says it's an absolutely stunning green tomato, and they say it's unknown in most of the world. It deserves recognition for its flavor and texture alone. The plants are vigorous and reliable producers, and the fruit is quite uniform and of excellent quality. I would encourage you to give Silvory a try in the garden this summer. And then where I got these pictures from, Heirloom Tomato Farm, says the origin is unclear, but it is thought to have originated in Russia. That's why I put Russia with a question mark in the graphic. Joe Raris of J&L Garden declares that this is one of the most beautiful green tomatoes. We do too. It has a somewhat flat pleated shape, weighs about 180 grams to 380 grams, can also be said to be the largest green tomato. I don't know about that. With 100 to 380 grams. I've had some malachite box that are that large. I've grown some greens that are, well, 300 grams is almost a pound, isn't it? Not a lot. They do tend to be more medium beefsteaks, but yeah, I mean, Jarson 18-3, it's a green when ripe. It's got stripes, but it is a green when ripe. And those were well over a pound, most of them. But it could be one of the largest. Maybe it is the largest, like all green tomato. Indeterminate. They say it's a cordon indeterminate. Anybody know what that means? Malachite Jen's here to help us out. Anybody know what before I reach that? Cordon, C-O-R-D-O-N indeterminate is what is listed on Heirloom Tomato Farm. I've never heard that term before. Anybody know? Or is that the breeder? But honestly, if you search this variety, I've only seen it 2 places. J&L Gardens is one of them. So the fact that it's virtually unknown in all of the world, that tells me must grow, must grow, must grow. Let me get you the link, and then we've got some answers in our chat by none other than our Malachite Jen. Did I not put Silvory? Oh no. I must have forgotten. Hang on, let me get you. Well, go to jnlgardens.com. I can get it real quick. It's inevitable I forget something every time, right? I'll get you the link. They're a really great vendor. Wait till you see the unique varieties they have. All right, I've got the link here so you can purchase. They do have them in stock. Oh, wow, their packets. I didn't even open their packets. I just noted. Let me show you the screen share here. 40 seeds in their packet. So these are great from them. I have to do an unboxing, maybe Monday, for J&L Heritage Seeds. Here's their picture of Silvory, which is why I got from that Heirloom Tomato Farm, because it's very small, but it shows a little bit more pink in it. Yeah, 40 seeds for $5.25. I always say vendors like this that have a lot of seeds, they're great to order a couple packs. If you're just new to getting started with trading, get a pack or two, and you can share these and get some great varieties in return. All right, let me put the link to this variety in the comments from J&L Gardens. And I promise you I will do an unboxing for them next week because I got some great ones. Yeah, Kathleen, I did think of Captain Lucky. I don't consider that a solid green also. They are potato leaf. That's one I have on my grow list again this year that I'm hoping to grow again because I want to use it in a cross idea that I have. But it is potato leaf. But yeah, that's more, I consider that more like a green tricolor. Beautiful ones, Heidi. That you're right. You're right. Although that's a cherry, but that is a green when ripe cherry. It's one of Bill Yoder's beautiful ones. Green Giant, says Bill Froelich. My favorite so far. Thank you. That's helpful. And I miss there's something from Malachite Jen also. Where'd it go? I know you answered something, Jen. There were two varieties that you mentioned. Did you remove it maybe? Or am I just not seeing it? Green Giant again. And then Beryl Beauty. Good to know. I have not grown Beryl Beauty. But yeah, beautiful ones was definitely potato leaf. Found a hard time growing that one inside. Once it was outside, it was fine. But they're green cherries. So Green Giant, good to know. And then I'm getting answers on the cordon synonym. It's a synonym for indeterminate. And Rana says the same thing, Rana. Hey, Rana, can you check your private messages on Facebook? I have a prize for you. I messaged you looking for your address a while back and haven't heard back yet. So please check your private messages on Facebook because I'd like to get this out to you. It's all packed up and ready to go. I don't even remember what's in there. I packed it up a while ago, but I would love to get them out to you if you can private message me or you can email. And do I not have it here? Where's my email address? lernie@me.com. But private messenger is better. I check that more often. lernie@me.com. You can email me, but I want to get your seeds out too. I think there's a number of things in there. It was from a while ago. And so that's it. Silver Yee's the last one. Has anybody grown this one before? Has anybody heard of this one before? Oh, okay. I didn't read far enough. I think that's the terminology they use in the UK. Interesting. Interesting. Thank you, guys. Cynthia. Beatrice, what a cute question. If you could be any tomato, which would you be? I've got to say Malachite box. Delicious, pretty, delicious. Did I say delicious? To die for? Delicious. Did I say delicious? Yeah. Malachite box. Suffer well. Phenomenal too. Although I quite like my microdwarfs that I'm breeding. Yeah. Okay. So thanks, Rana. Don't mean to harass you and call you out on here, but I want to get you those seeds. Thank you guys for, 2 hours, 45 minutes. I've done this before, but it's been a while. And to think that I actually forgot a variety. Glad I did. Thank you for tuning in. And for those of you that have hung out with me, we didn't lose that many viewers. So my tomato heads, I adore you. Thank you for being family to us here in the tomato community. Or if you're watching, just because you're not watching live, if you're watching the recording, you are equally as important to us. I realize that not everybody is cut out to watch almost 3 hours of me talking tomatoes. And the time doesn't work for everybody. And I've cut into several time zones with 3 hours. So, and I know it's dinner time for so many of us. I've got to get my sourdough in the oven. Thank you guys. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Jen and I will be doing a unboxing together of Old South seeds. Brain's going. And we're excited about it. So it will be at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock UK time, 10 o'clock Kina time in Central European Standard Time. And then I'll do more unboxings next week. Make sure you sign up for our grow outs if you haven't already. You only have until Monday to put in for up to 2 categories and up to 5 varieties per each of those 2 categories. We're going to do our best to, we are fair. And unfortunately, some of you won't make teams, and that makes me want to cry, honestly. But there really is no other way. We need to grow, but grow slowly. So we are offering more categories and grow outs this year. We're offering more spots on a team, but we need to keep it manageable, and we'll just do a little bit more each year. So that's the scoop, Nicole. Thank you, 3 of the best hours. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, blah, blah. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for all the info. Heidi, I wish I could pack seeds while I'm doing the show, but I do watch Jen often when I'm packing seeds. It's a great way to spend the time listening to tomato shows when you're packing seeds, for sure. Deborah, I always like listening to you, Lauren. Thank you. I have to go potty. You and me both. All right, gang. So I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Be there, be squared. Me and Jen, Old South Seeds. I think it'll be the first unboxing they've had. Really nice people. So can't wait it's Mark and Carol from there. We're hoping to show you their great varieties, very unique varieties, and give them, some visibility so you guys can check them out for yourself. I will see you tomorrow, if not next week. This time, be there, same time, bat time, same bat channel. Peace and love. Get your gratitude on and go grow tomatoes. Bye, gang. Love you all.